It's time to wake up with a nice cup of morning roast.
Oh, yeah.
Featuring Bonta and Joe Shasky.
Hey, well, I'm about that action, boss.
Take it out! This is the morning roast on 95.7 The Game.
Oh, baby. Or is it, yes, sir? Good morning, family. That's right. Nice guy, Stephen Langford in for Shasky. What's up, Lang?
Need something like that in the morning. Hey, the national show, we didn't tell the national show that that's how 5 a.m. has to start off every morning on 95.7 The Game, so I'm glad you brought that up. What's going on, man?
Give me a yes, sir, Langford. Come on, I need
it. Good morning, family. And the Arizona Complex League Giants, they won the playoffs, Bonta. So the Giants, they're looking good in 2027.
Oh, interesting. How about that, Nuggy Nug?
How about
to start the morning? Good morning, everybody out there getting off their graveyard shift. If you're getting ready for work or if you're at work, good morning to you. And, of course, our roasters on the Comcast Business Text line. Of course, YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube and Twitch at 95.7 The Game. Search us, like us, love us, dislike us if you want to. I don't care, but we love you all. We love all the interaction. And we also have somebody behind the board, dude. We got Sam Lubman, of course. Lubman's ready to roll. He's already nervous about his Miami Hurricanes. College football starting next weekend. We got a little soft start.
This is going to be the first time that we've had Lubman during college football season. He's going to be going crazy after every weekend for the Hurricanes.
He's a Miami Hurricane fan. You know I'm a Florida State fan. There's going to be some trouble in this office.
There might be.
There's going to be some bad blood going on when the Florida State kicks the hell out of Miami.
And if anyone wants any insight to behind the glass, Lubman's iPhone ringer, or rather phone ringer in general, when he gets text messages, it's all about the you. And he keeps his phone on loud. He doesn't silence his phone. So the amount of times I hear...
Wait a minute. You can't just skip over that.
What?
It's all about the you is his ringtone?
Yeah, but it's like the text ringtone, so it's nothing but, it's all about the you, and that's it.
Oh, my God.
So I hear that a solid 30 times a day. Just, it's all about the you.
If I get texted 30 times a day, I wish that was the case. If you could hear it once, that would be awesome.
That's theater of the mind, Lubman. I'm trying to, you know what I mean? It might be 5 or 6, but really it's 30.
Well, really the only text you get is from us. I mean, your boy's struggling right now. That's why he's going out to Yankee A's games at the Coliseum. He's trying to pick something up. And he switches seats left and right, salivating over Aaron Judge. Well, guess what, Lubman? Aaron Judge is not coming to these sorry-ass Giants. And by the way, good morning to our guy on the board. We got Mr. Craig.
Yes.
A.K.A. Smooth Big Daddy. Hey, look, this guy is always on Instagram. He's sending me all kind of stuff. He's talking football. We got two brothers on the morning show? What? Craig? And he had me so fired up. Look, I was already fired up coming in because I was bumping that Beyonce. She puts me in a good mood. That new album is banging.
Yeah.
DJ Khaled's got a couple tracks. I was bumping that, and I was just flying, right? And Craig comes in here, and he takes it up another notch. Because we start talking college football, we start talking pros, top 100, Divo. So I'm ready to roll. I'm already sweating through the sweater.
There's a lot to get into. And you know what? There's this sound from DJ Khaled. I'm actually going to have Craig pull it, and maybe we can play it at some point this hour because it's him promoting his new album, and it's the funniest sound that I've ever heard. And I wanted to play it on the pregame show last week, but didn't have the time. So we will play that later on. But yeah, I'm hot on that. And also, football's coming. Like the NFL's
coming.
Look, the NFL top 100, right? You mentioned that.
Yeah.
See, here's my thoughts on it real quick. I don't really care for the rankings so much. Like, you know, we could argue all day about whether this guy, you know, Tom Brady should have been number one on NFL Network, whatever.
Who cares?
We can argue about that. But the reason that the top 100 is so great to me is that every single ranking, they kind of tell the story of that player.
Yep.
So when you're watching it, you know what I mean? Like when you're watching every single one, you're like, damn, I missed that. Oh, you know what? I might have to watch the Jets. Oh, you know, I might have to watch the Lions this season so I can watch what this is going to do. You know what I mean? Like, it gets you excited, so I can't wait.
I love the highlight packages of the players.
Yeah.
And then I love the commentary from their peers. That's always blown me away because we know NFL Films does it the best with the music, the narration, and you get the players right there talking about themselves and, you know, the sounds of the game. Like, that's why the top 100 players of all time, when they did that, that's what really sucked me into the top 100 players of the modern day, or just year by year, because you had like Randy Moss at like 66, right?
Yeah.
And I just remember seeing his highlight package. And I was like, damn, this is next level. I forgot he did that.
I think Derek Brooks was number 100 on that list.
Right, yeah, he may have been with number 100. And then you had, I think, Jerry Rice was in that top 10. Of course, you had the Montanas, you had the Youngs, you had the Favres, you had all these guys. So, like, when you see the top 100 and Trent Williams is number 14, and people are going crazy over it, the fact that Trent Williams is 14, Deebo Samuel's 19, you had Derrick Henry in that top 15, you had Jalen Ramsey at 9, you had Brady number 1. So that kind of got me going for football season because, look, in less than 2 weeks, it is on. It is on. Hell, we got a game next Thursday night with the Bills and the Rams at SoFi Stadium to kick off the season.
Damn.
That is juicy.
It's going to be a good one. It's going to be, and you know what's going to be great? Is on Twitter, you're going to find that this is the trend. This is what all the insiders do. It doesn't matter whether it's NBA, NFL,
what's the trend?
or MLB. The trend is, well, the NFL Twitter account kind of started it yesterday, but they will just say, football season is here. That's it. Some variation.
Yeah.
The most obvious tweet, which is just useless. We don't need any of that. It's like, gentlemen, football starts today.
And everybody will start tweeting it.
Yes.
Football's here.
Yes. Football's
Football back.
NFL did that yesterday after the final preseason game, I think, between the Steelers and the Lions.
Which is fun.
Right?
I enjoy watching Dan Campbell on the sideline.
I know, right?
Hey, they were trying to, like, real quick on that game, because I watched 1:30 came around. I was like, you know what? The Giants are losing again in Minnesota.
Terrible.
They're getting routed out there. Poor Flem. We're going to have him on at 8 o'clock to talk about the struggles of the San Francisco Giants. I mean, the Lions were out there running stunts, blitzes. Then on the other side, you had T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward playing, George Pickens. And may I say, look, I'm not going to put too much stock into a preseason game. But Mitchell Trubisky didn't look half bad. And this may be the most weapons he's ever had to work with in the NFL. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I still wouldn't want him as a Niner. I still don't think they should have picked, like the Bears should have picked him number 2 overall. Should have been Watson or Mahomes, whatever. But damn, I looked at Pittsburgh and I was like, okay, they're hitting with Detroit. It was a physical football game for a preseason game.
The way that I look at Pittsburgh is the same way that I look at Tennessee as well, where their fan base, the Titans and the Steelers fan base, is going to be exactly like the 2021 49ers fan base. Like, there's going to be a lot of Steelers
Play
fans.
the kid.
Play Pickett. Or Malik Willis on the other side, the third rounder out of Liberty. Play him over Ryan Tannehill.
Did you see Baldy salivating over Malik?
Really?
Willis.
Did he do a breakdown? He did a breakdown
he did
on
multiple breakdowns. Goes, look at this kid. Look at this kid. He's going to be a star in Nashville.
Yeah.
You can kind of tell where Baldy's leaning when it comes to that quarterback competition.
That one is way more like the 49ers, too, because Ryan Tannehill is, they gave him a big contract, and he's a bit of an older guy they've gotten a lot of wins with him as a quarterback, but also with Derrick Henry as the running back, and you kind of look at the talent there. So I think they're well on their way. The 2022 Titans fan base is the 2021 49ers fan base. It's going to be the Spider-Man meme looking at each other.
And where's the 2021 Niner fan base going to be after week number 1? Where are they going to be after the season?
You mean the 2022?
The 2022 fan base, excuse me. Let me get my years right.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of worry within the Niner fan base. There's a lot of concern right now. And yesterday we got the report that Divo Samuel will not practice this week because he has a contusion in his knee, a knee bruise, in the back of his knee. Now, they make it out that it's not serious.
Yeah.
But I'm not taking it. I'm taking it serious. This is a guy, when you go back to South Carolina, his freshman year of South Carolina. Let me show you the games played for Divo Samuel. Freshman year of South Carolina.
Right on.
5 games played.
Okay.
Got hurt. He plays with physicality, and it's going to happen. All right, sophomore year plays 10 games. Junior year, he comes back, only plays 3 games. Believe it was a fibula injury. Senior year, he played 12 games. All right? NFL, first year, rookie year, dynamic, plays in 15 games. I'm excluding the playoffs because he played in all 3 playoff games. Second year, we know what happened. He had the foot injury in the offseason, came back a little out of shape, and he only played 7 games during the pandemic season. Last year, he played 16 plus the playoffs. Now he's already, he's missed time with various injuries. We saw the go route from Thursday night against Houston. Not a lot of separation. And I was talking to Shasky yesterday, Langford.
Yeah.
He was like, I watched him in every drill. It was an interesting contrast between the conversation I had with Shasky and the convo I had with Sam Lubman.
Okay.
Lubman at practice was like, yeah, Debo looked great. Debo looked good. Debo looked like Debo. Well, I'm talking to Shasky, and he's saying, Debo wasn't gaining a lot of separation during individual drills. And I know you were down there, so I would love to get your thoughts on Debo. Where I'm going at is, this is something I'm going to monitor. This is a guy who we know did what he did in the offseason, unfollowing the 49ers, not working out with Trey Lance. I don't like the excuse of him not working out with Trey Lance. They need the reps together.
Right.
Ayuk and Trey is going to be fine.
Yeah.
George Kittle and Trey is going to be fine. But what about that connection with Deebo Samuel? I don't know if that's going to be fine early on.
Well, see, you mentioned the name Ayuk, and I'll get to that in a second. But the training camp thing, well, first off, when we first went to the practices, we just saw him working out on the sideline.
Yeah.
So my initial reaction is, oh my God, can you imagine once he gets pads on? Can you imagine just trying to stand in front of that guy? You know, the initial shock of just seeing Debo in person.
Oh, no body fat.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's a walking muscle.
You can even hear some of the people on the sideline just going when he's just doing little sprints on the side. Just, man, could you imagine standing in front of that? Oh, man, good luck with that. But when I saw him get into pads, I only saw a couple of practices with him in pads. They did not look like they were on the same page. Him and Trey Lance. And that meaning when they were in the red zone, there were a lot of overthrows. When they were trying to run the go route, there were a lot of overthrows there. Like, they just did not look in sync. And that's not to say, oh, that's what's going to happen this 2022 season. Of course, they're going to have to work a little extra, but it's also seeing how he looked with Brandon Ayuk, Trey Lance, that is, and just seeing the connection that they had. That makes you think, man, like last week, Bonta, when you were out, Shasky and I had a question, is there a player where you have zero doubt that they're going to ball out this year? Just no doubt in your mind. And a lot of people are going to choose Nick Bosa. Divo Samuel might be one you point to, but this year, I don't know.
A lot of people not feeling it, huh?
I don't know if there's zero doubt that he's going to go off this year.
Not feeling the vibes right now.
You know?
Yeah.
Something just does not feel right there. And, you go to that Texans game and you see that go route where he's not getting any separation from, who was it? Steven Nelson, I think it was the quarterback.
Steven Nelson.
Who just had to go on Instagram, too. He had to go on Instagram.
Yeah, well, that's,
locked him up. What?
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, I mean, you locked up his arm.
Since we're here with this, and Steven Nelson is posting videos, I don't know if it's just Twitter. I don't know if it's the barbershops. I don't know if people walking around town are just hyped about football. But it feels like preseason has jumped the shark this year, as well as training camp.
Jump the shark meaning what?
There's so much stock put into these preseason games.
Yeah.
I'm seeing people argue with Kurt Warner on whether or not Trey Lance made the right read to Deebo Samuel on the go route. Casuals arguing with the Hall of Fame quarterback, talking about, you don't know what you're talking about. Trey was supposed to hit this guy, not Deebo. And the stock that everybody's putting in, oh my God, this guy looks great. It's preseason football. Playbooks are vanilla. Half the teams are not even playing their guys. But yet there's so much rage over preseason football. I've never seen it like this before. Nice guy. Even training camp with the stats getting counted each and every practice. What are we doing out here?
Well, what do you mean, Bonta? During the regular season, it's normal for your starting quarterback to play for a quarter and a half and have one deep throw to their star wide receiver and none to the other guy on the other side. Yeah, that's really how preseason is. So it's perfectly okay for people to overreact. No, man, it's over the totality of 4 quarters, I think that's what's going to make this team tough to deal with. Okay, the first quarter and a half, maybe they didn't, play against the Texans that's the way that you wanted them to. Going out there with a majority of your ones and then going up against their twos.
Right.
Maybe you didn't want they didn't play as well as you thought they could. But it's the totality for me, Bonta. And I get where you're coming from too. There's a lot of access for people, and they can look up little slow-mo videos, take little still shots if they want to take that time to study the quarterback and actually try to form an opinion on it, even though that opinion might not be right, but it makes you a little cocky. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that. I'm seeing a lot of that with Trey. And just his throwing motion.
Oh, my gosh. You got people out here who've never played quarterback in their life trying to break down his technique and why he's not throwing accurate or why the nose is going down. It's like, dude, stop. Let the experts handle this. Let the quarterback coach and Brian Greasy and Kyle Shanahan handle this. It's just too much. But back to Deebo Samuel for a second.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that he's not practicing this week. Now, some people may say, we want to bubble wrap him and get him ready for Chicago. We talk about reps, and there was a lot made of Trey Lance playing in that third preseason game. I didn't want him to play. Shasky wanted him to play. I know you wanted him to get some reps or whatnot. A lot of people were indifferent because it was a meaningless game. And now think about after the fact of that game, how people were freaking out because the offense didn't score any points when he was the quarterback on last Thursday night against Houston. But the fact that he's not getting more reps with Deebo Samuel this week heading into the Chicago game, this is a good week to really build that rapport as you put in the game plan next week and start to implement different plays and different nuances to that game plan against the Chicago Bears. I don't like the fact that he's not practicing this week, Langford, and that's something that I'm going to monitor. I'm not freaking out here. I'm not freaking out. But the fact that he's not practicing this week, after signing the big contract, after everything that happened in the offseason, after his history of not playing 2 consecutive seasons, full seasons, since he was a freshman in South Carolina, that's something I'm going to monitor all year long.
The thing about the reports that I didn't get, and this is just speaking from my point of view, when I saw bruise behind the knee, how the hell does that happen? How do you get a knee contusion behind the knee? Like, I get it if you're, taking a helmet to the patella or something like that, and it's in the actual front of the knee, but a bruise in the back of the knee, that was my number one thought. How is there a bruise in the back of the knee? I don't understand that. I am not a doctor. I took 1 semester of anatomy, and I got a C- out of it.
Oh,
yeah.
That was a tough class.
Then I transitioned over to media arts and then got into radio and never looked back.
Yeah, anatomy is a terrible class. Anatomy is one of those classes when you look at the GE, the general ed, okay, what can I do to transfer to a university? Anatomy. Yeah, that doesn't sound fun. Cross that off the list. Yeah. Anatomy, not for you.
Yeah, then they had cadavers in the back room. It's like you have cadavers just sitting there. Like, what the hell? This is where they are? We didn't know that.
Cultural anthropology is probably the worst class I've ever taken. Even though it was a summer class and it went by fast and it was a good class in terms of the personalities in there. But cultural anthropology, you imagine me in one of those classes? That was rough. It was rough.
You're gonna be talking about like football. Right. You're gonna be talking about
what does one do with a cultural anthropology degree? That's what I want to know.
Where does the Niners and Bengals game with Joe Montana? Where does this fit into the cultural anthropology?
I don't know.
No, but with Deebo Samuel though, man, it is something to monitor, and I do want him and Trey Lance to get as much work as possible because they weren't working down in SoCal. And I'm actually seeing this whole thing with the fans going at Kurt Warner. I mean, just in case anyone hasn't seen it, there's one guy who says, don't want to see this if you're a 49er fan. On 3rd and 2, Ayuk looks very open, and this was the play where he throws to the right sideline to Deebo Samuel. Yeah. And then Kurt Warner said he never got to Ayuk in his progression. Don't coach after the fact. He took a shot to his best player one-on-one with press coverage. You can argue on 3rd and short to take a higher percentage throw, but you can understand why. But what you can't do is say he should have thrown to Brandon Ayuk, and then people go after him.
Oh, they go Twitter. In on them. Our boy Telmo. Telmo's always tweeting at the morning roast. He tweets us on Twitter. I see him all in the mentions. I say, let me duck out of here. That's it for me. 650 Comcast Business Text Line. How much do we show the Bears, though? Not the end of the world if Deebo don't play a lot against the Bears. They look sorry. We should be able to beat them easily. Get Devo healthy for the good teams. See, I don't think you could just walk into Chicago week 1 and just take these guys as a joke. It is their home opener. They're playing the 49ers who are on the cusp of a Super Bowl appearance. The Bears are going to be fired up. If you don't think Justin Fields still wants to prove to Kyle Shanahan that he picked the wrong guy, Justin Fields is going to be amped for that game. And yeah, they have O-line problems as well, but they have speed outside with the receiver position, and there's going to be no Jimmy Ward in this game. Having no Jimmy Ward in this game, like, who's going to play safety? Hufanga and Tarvarius Moore?
Probably looking like Tarvarius Moore.
That's a concern.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm not fully sold on the Bears, though.
Nobody is.
Come on.
Nobody is, but I don't just think the Niners are going to waltz in there right now and just say, hey, let's take the Bears. I want the Niners to be fully healthy. I want Deebo in that game to set the tone for the season. That's what this is. This is a tone setter for the season to let everybody in the NFL know that, hey, the NFC goes through us. So I don't think you could just say, hey, let's rest this guy and rest this guy and rest that guy. This is just the Chicago Bears. I need all the guys ready to go, especially for Trey Lance's first start to a regular season.
Well, there's no sign that that Deebo won't be ready to go by the Bears game. He's just not going to be practicing this week. They are probably just trying to save him for that Bears game and not trying to aggravate that injury. Again, semester of anatomy. Right. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about the Bears. Like in week 1, here's where I'm at. If you lose to the Bears, okay, fine. But then you better beat Seattle and you better beat Denver if you end up losing to the Bears going into that week 4 game against the Rams.
Oh.
Like you better be going into that Rams game 2-1. If you are 1-2, against the Bears, then Seattle, then Denver, that's when I think we can have a real discussion about, there being concern for this team. After the first game, you lose to the Bears, okay, that's week 1. But Seattle and Denver, you have no right to at least not go 2-0 against those teams if you lose against the Bears.
They lose to the Bears in the opener. That Monday after that game.
Pandemonium.
Oh, it's going to be chaotic.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be chaotic. All right, look, we got the GOAT, Jerry Rice, joining us at 8:30. Jerry Rice.
Damn straight.
What do you think he does for the offseason? What do you think he does in the offseason?
Golfs.
You don't think he runs a mountain anymore?
I'm sure he runs a mountain. I'm sure he does that, but then golfs.
Golf. Yeah.
Big golf guy.
Big golf guy. Big mountain guy. Probably still thinks, by the way, guys who think they can still play wide receiver, his former teammate, Terrell Owens.
Uh-huh.
See him run a 4?
Yeah.
What did he run, a 4.40?
No, it was like a 4.38, I think. Yeah. If you look it up among the 2022 Combine results, he'd be the 8th fastest wide receiver from that draft.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah.
That'd be...
Maybe even the 7th, actually. Within the top 10.
Then he was yelling, I do this stuff.
Oh, boy.
I do love me some T.
I know, right?
He's unbelievable. To go, Jerry Rice is going to join us at 8:30. Dave Flemming at 8 o'clock. A lot going on the morning roast. Nice guy in for Joe Shasky, the butcher. We got Loveman, we got Craig, and myself. And we got you, the roasters. 888-957-9570. Anybody concerned about Divo Samuel? I would love to hear from Niner fans. Plus, yes, we will talk a little Giants baseball. Because how embarrassing was that weekend? I could have swore Ken Herbeck and Kirby Puckett was playing for the Twins.
I got one takeaway from that series.
Oh,
just
boy.
one takeaway.
What, that they're dead?
I'll get to that when we have the conversation, Bonta.
All right,
it's called tease.
All right, that's coming up. Sponsored by On Deck Small Business Loans.
I'm just a pick with BetQL. Football season has arrived, so here's a fascinating trend to consider. Teams that finished the previous year with between 4 and 6 wins cover the spread an amazing 66% of the time in their opening game. This year, 5 teams fit that bill. So take a close look at the Jets, Bears, Texans, Panthers, and Giants against the spread. And if you like the line, hammer those dogs. I'm Trista Crick, helping you beat the book.
Staples has everything for school at great prices. So this year you won't go back to school. You'll be ready to move forward and master 5th grade math.
I can't do this. It's impossible.
Not you, Dad, your daughter. Staples will help her move forward.
Right.
Right now, Staples comp books and number 2 pencils are just 50 cents each. Plus, 2 pocket paper folders are only 25 cents each. Everything on your list at amazing prices. Staples, we're not going back. We're going forward to school. Ends 9/3. In-store only. Limit.
Brought to you by On Deck Small Business Loans. When you own a small business, sometimes you need funds fast. So go to OnDeck.com, America's largest online small business lender. OnDeck makes it easy to apply in minutes. Apply for your loan today at OnDeck.com.
Okay, you know those amazing spots only the true San Francisco locals are in on? Like that place with the square pizzas? Or Mama Hoo-Hoo? The spot for sweet and sour chicken that's anything but so-so. Order up! You know, with the Granch dressing. And all the other spots the real SF locals know without us even saying them. Yeah, they're on DoorDash. San Francisco gets it. DoorDash has it.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No, we tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured, so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly, different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS or go online at carsforkids.org to donate today.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. KARS, Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Bart is turning 50, and we'd love to celebrate with you. Get 50% off of your ride in honor of Bart's 50 years of service to the Bay Area when you pay with Clipper. That's 50% off Clipper Bart fares for the entire month of September. Add Clipper to your digital wallet for free. If you're eligible for other Clipper discounts like youth or senior fares, you get to take an additional 50% off of those too. Details at bart.gov/50 years. Celebrate Bart's 50 years of service with us this September. Let's go.
TrackPhone wants to know, are you an influencer? A big live streamer? No? Then guess what? You don't need an endless data plan. Get just the right amount of data with TrackPhone's $40 unlimited talk and text smartphone plan. Now with 8 gigs of high-speed data and unlimited carryover on America's largest, most dependable network, now with 5G. Get the data you need at the price you want. TrackPhone Wireless. Now you're in control. Available at major retailers. 5G compatible device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at trackphone.com.
If this were a Reese's TV ad, you'd be staring at a Reese's peanut butter cup. And sure, my voice is peanut buttery smooth, but still, you need to see the peanut butter cups, right? No? I can really just say Reese's and you'll go get some? Okay. Reese's. 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 Really working, actually. Reese's. Reese's. I'm on to something. Reese's. 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 When people have a craving to explore new and traditional Asian cuisines, they head to P.F. Chang's, where scratch-made dishes come from the 2,000-year-old tradition of wok cooking. P.F. Chang's wanted to explore new possibilities for their website. They turned to AmericanEagle.com. AmericanEagle.com re-architected P.F. Chang's website, integrating multiple third-party systems to create a unified digital experience. The results? Improved page speed and performance, personalized content based on users' location, intuitive online ordering, an increase in organic search visibility, and a 40% increase in new users. For scratch-made Asian cuisine, visit your local P.F. Chang's or go to pfchangs.com for website design, development, digital marketing, and hosting that produce efficiency, revenue, and results. Visit AmericanEagle.com. P.F. Chang's and AmericanEagle.com. Another example of the best businesses in the world, turning to the best in the business for websites. Go to AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW1. That's 877-WEB-NOW1.
Correa out into right center field. That's going to be a hit, and we'll see if anybody can cut it off. Kepler does. Longoria is going to test him, and the throw will be offline. Evan Longoria even not moving nearly 100% with a head-first slide. It's a leadoff double. He rips that one into right field. He got a fastball, and he hit a liner to third. Longoria, and he'll come home. Longoria really not moving all that well, but the throw goes into second base, so Brandon Crawford ties the game up with a hard hit single.
What up, Steve? He was out there hanging out with Mo Salah in Liverpool a couple days ago. Saw it on Mo Salah's Instagram page. Mo Salah, star striker for Liverpool, of course. Those are a couple positive highlights for the Giants. And look, we know this team is mediocre. I mean, let's be real. They've lost 8 of their last 10. And even the game they won that Sunday in Colorado was a joke in the 11th inning. Should have lost that one. I mean, they get swept in Minnesota. Friday night was just ugly. Alex Wood, that terrible third inning.
Yeah.
They lose 9-0 in that one. Saturday, we'll get to that in just a second because that's where things got interesting. Dominic Leal throw a strike. And then yesterday, they just weren't competitive. They just were not competitive whatsoever. But the 6-run third inning to set the tone in this series, given up by Alex Wood. Alex Wood now is ERA sitting at 5. Just an ugly weekend for the Giants and an ugly stretch. Remember Langford when this 12-game stretch started? We all figured, okay, if the Giants can make some noise during this 12-game stretch, maybe they still have a shot. Maybe they have a shot. Well, during this 12-game stretch, Langford, they split with Arizona. They lose 2 of 3 to Colorado. They split with Detroit, and they get swept by the Twins. It was an ugly stretch.
Yes, just a little bit. And I mean, especially that one against the Tigers. And now you're heading into a series against the Padres after this one. It just doesn't get any easier. But I told you prior to the break, I got two. I actually got two takeaways.
Oh, you got two, not one. You thought of another one.
I had one. I didn't think of another one. I had another one in the back pocket, and I totally forgot about it. But I do have this because NBC Sports Bay Area brought this up on their Twitter page, and it was a graphic that they used for their broadcast, and they talked about the 2023 free agents. And the caption is, if I were Farhan. And then, who would you bring back? Which of these 2023 free agents that's currently on this Giants roster in 2022? Evan Longoria, Carlos Rodon, Brandon Belt, Jock Peterson, Wilmer Flores, Dom Leone, Jose Alvarez. I'm thinking, if I were Farhan and those were the free agents that were on my list, I am maybe thinking about bringing back two. Maybe Wilmer Flores. I really want Carlos Rodon on this team. I don't know if he's definitely not going to pick up that option because once he tests free agency, he's going to be making a lot more than just $22.5 million or $21.5 million, whatever that number is for that option. I believe it's actually 22.5. Maybe you bring those two back. Maybe. But this also leads to the one takeaway that I had from the Twins series. Good Lord, if Carlos Correa is not going to be back with the Twins, go and sign this dude. Carlos Correa is unbelievable.
Well, he earned $100 million just this weekend against the Giants. I mean, the Giants made him look like Kirby Puckett.
Unbelievable.
No joke. I keep saying, it looked like Justin Morneau. Joe Mauer. The Twins hit the hell out the baseball over the weekend.
Yeah, that Alex Wood start, when you had Carlos Correa come to the plate, it felt like game over.
Gary Sanchez didn't even recognize the guy with the beard because he's been a long-time Yankee. You know the rules with the Yankees, you got to shave your facial hair.
Yeah.
He goes yard that Friday night. It's just a joke of a weekend. And now they're 4 games under 500. Now that you say, hey, man, they have to play the Padres. The Padres haven't been playing great baseball. That's the frustrating part about the stretch for the Giants, as they're 2-8 in their last 10, and they've lost 4 in a row. The frustrating part about this stretch is that they had opportunities to make us believe they had a shot at making the postseason. They did. Padres are getting their... Josh Hader, you see the numbers on him since he's become a Padre?
I haven't. So I saw a headline that said Josh Hader has been bad and keeps getting worse, but I didn't read into it.
All right, well, I'm going to pull up the Josh Hader stats in just a second here, but
okay.
They haven't been playing great baseball. The Brewers haven't been playing great baseball. They've been blowing games against the Cubs, and here's the stats for Josh Hader.
Okay.
Since joining the Padres, Josh Hader has thrown 4 2/3 of an inning, allowed 12 runs on 12 hits, with 7 walks and 8 strikeouts. 6 earned runs in 1/3 of an inning yesterday. You know where his ERA is at now?
Where at?
6.52. Josh Hader.
6.52?
Josh Hader. 6.52 ERA right now.
Wasn't he throwing a sub-2 ERA?
And then he walked.
Over a month ago?
Yeah, and then the Giants got to him. And now he's sitting at 6.52.
Wow. Okay, so I got to go back and look at this. I got to go back and look at this Giants one.
And 1.47 whip.
So when he faced the Giants, he had a 4.5 ERA once he was done facing the Giants after that game.
Yep.
And then he goes on to have a 6.52. And ever since his time with the Padres, good Lord, that's terrible. So you're saying
you're 2.73 ERA going into that Giants game.
So you're saying you're disappointed because this was going to be a time to pounce, if any, maybe to get somewhere within that wild card spot?
This was the 12 games to make your run. Because now you are playing the Padres, and they're probably thinking, we're about to feast on this team.
Yeah.
Because they still have Manny Machado's red hot.
Right.
Manny Machado's hitting the hell out the baseball. Josh Bell's starting to figure it out. But their problem is they don't have much starting pitching.
Right.
Their starting Sean Manaea has been a joke with the Padres. Blake Snell can't get anybody out. But this was their chance to make some noise. And the Giants failed to make that noise. And now you look at their stretch going into September. You mentioned the Padres, right? They have 3 games against the Padres at home. Now, everybody was complaining about the attendance a couple of weeks ago against Arizona on a Monday night. I wonder what the attendance is going to be like tonight after that road trip. Good luck getting 20,000.
The attendance in that Sunday afternoon Twins game, by the way, barely anyone wanted to go watch the Giants play the Twins.
Hell no. Nobody wanted to go to that game.
Nobody wanted to go. It was humid.
Yeah,
I just sweat watching that game. It was like overcast, and you could tell that it was humid.
You weren't sweating because Jacob Junis was on the mound?
Actually, you know what? Jacob Junis.
He's been a good Giant. That's not fair.
He's been okay since coming to the Giants. Yesterday,
he's been okay.
Yeah, he's been fine. Yesterday was a little bit of a hiccup. The one that I'm continuing to watch out for, the new Giant, is J.D. Davis and what he does. Because I haven't seen J.D. Davis do much. Well, but that's like, I'm just talking new Giants and just thinking in my head.
Well, listen, he was 0 for 4 yesterday with 3 strikeouts.
Right.
This young kid who comes up, lefty, Alex Young, not cracking.
No.
Not cracking. Can't get anybody out. Dominic Leone Saturday night. Can you throw a strike? The bases are loaded. Throw a strike.
What happened to him?
Strike.
What happened to him?
Well, Camilo Duvall. We found out that maybe a 4-out save is not him right now. That's not his thing right now.
No.
He's got to work up to that. And we were complaining, maybe throw him in. Well, we found out. 4-out save Saturday night. Didn't get it done. And he has some comments about that as well, saying basically, I'm not ready for that. Okay, well, we got a player admitting that. Well, now you're screwed because everybody else in the bullpen, you got Tyler Rogers. He threw a clean inning yesterday. Nobody cares because they were down 8-3. But
Lubman cares.
Lubman does care.
Got your back.
Does Lubman care about this, though? How about the next 8 games for the Giants?
Oh, boy.
You see the schedule? 3 against the Padres. 3 against the Phillies, who have Bryce Harper back. And then you got 3 in L.A. Oh, actually, that's 9 games. And then let me add 2 more in Milwaukee, which is a doubleheader. That's your next 11 games. 3 against the Padres, 3 against the Phillies, 3 at L.A., and 2 at Milwaukee.
And then sandwich that with a Cubs matchup, and then the Braves, and then the Dodgers again.
Oh, yeah. The season's done.
It's going to get way worse, too. It's going to be so fun.
Are you sure? Lubman, you know what Lubman said? I know we got a break here, but Langford, you know what Lubman said to me yesterday? That Saturday game made me so frustrated. It made me so frustrated. It's like, really? You're still getting frustrated over the 2022 Giants? By the way, the segment was presented by Golden State Lumber. Lumber and building materials for professional builders and contractors throughout Northern California. Visit GoldenStateLumber.com. I do want to get back into that free agency list, Langford, about who the Giants should bring back and what can they actually attract. Because I think they're a lot farther away than many people think. That'll be coming up, brought to you by Fremont Bank, full service banking, no compromises.
Gorgeous gaming, stunning streams, unbelievable bandwidth. It's another Lifestyles of Gagillionaires. Meet the AT&T Fiber customers winning at life with hyper gig speeds. Meet Gagillionaire Terry. While his love of streaming horror movies has him constantly on the edge of his seat, his internet bill won't give him a scare.
Oh, don't go in there. I'm telling you.
Because since Terry upgraded to AT&T Fiber with hyper gig speeds, he doesn't worry about data caps or equipment fees.
Come on, man. The door's open for a reason.
And best yet, he also doesn't stress about a price increase at 12 months, because with the amazing Gagillionaire lifestyle comes an exquisite sense of tranquility. Most of the time. Live like a Gagillionaire. Get straightforward pricing with AT&T Fiber. Internet that upgrades everything. No data caps, no equipment fees, and no price increase at 12 months.
Limited availability in select areas. Visit att.com/hypergig for details.
If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. That's true when your business is growing fast, and even more true when there's a lot of uncertainty. Inflation is running rampant, supply chains are clogged, and the labor market is tight. What does that mean for margins? But not every business is in the dark. Over 31,000 businesses know their numbers because they use NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of financials, planning, budgeting, and of course, inventory, so you can manage risk, get reliable forecasts, and improve margins. Everything you need, all in one place. In 2022, profit is the new growth. So NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your manual business processes, and see where to save money. Know your numbers, know your business, and get to know how NetSuite can be the source of truth for your entire company. NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/radar. netsuite.com/radar.
At Left Coast Buyers, we buy properties all over California. If you own a house or an apartment building and want to sell it fast at a great price, call us at 925-434-5000. We can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. We buy properties in any condition, any price range. Do you own a property that is run down and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Are you out of time, money, and energy? Are you looking for an easy way to get top dollar for your property and sell on your terms and timeline? Well, call Left Coast Buyers now at 925-434-5000. We buy divorce houses, inherited houses. We even buy vacant houses and abandoned houses. Do you have a tenant who hasn't paid? Are you behind on property taxes, mortgage payments, or even facing a foreclosure? Even if you're just nervous about capital gains or an upcoming recession, we've seen it all. So if you or someone you know owns a property and needs to sell, call Left Coast Buyers at 925-434-5000. That's 925-434-5000.
Okay, you know those amazing spots only the true San Francisco locals are in on? Like Square Pizza. That place with the square pizzas? Or Mama Hoo-Hoo? The spot for sweet and sour chicken that's anything but so-so. Order up! You know, with the Granch dressing. And all the other spots the real SF locals know without us even saying them. Yeah, they're on DoorDash. San Francisco gets it. DoorDash has it.
Everyone knows how beneficial therapy can be, but traditional therapy can be overwhelming, confusing, and inconvenient. When scheduling in-person therapy, it can be difficult to find the right therapist near you, and it can take weeks to get on their calendar. We knew there had to be a better way, and that's where Betterhelp began. I'm Danny, co-founder of Betterhelp Online Therapy. When Alana and I started Betterhelp in 2013, our mission was simple: find a way to make professional therapy accessible, affordable, and convenient for everyone. BetterHelp works around your schedule and lifestyle. You can connect to a therapist by phone, video call, or even text message. You don't even have to turn on your camera if you don't feel comfortable. And if your therapist isn't the right fit, you can switch anytime with the click of a button, because BetterHelp is designed with you in mind. See why over 2 million members have trusted BetterHelp for online therapy. Go to betterhelp.com/youfirst and get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/youfirst for 10% off your first month.
This is Loyalty Lab Interview 6. Subject, grandmother's loyalty. Margie, what do you do when your grandson misbehaves?
Angels don't misbehave.
Here we study the most loyal, like you and... Oh, there goes the lamp.
You shouldn't have put it there.
Shell and the Fuel Rewards program has our members' backs too. It's super easy to save on every gallon. Loyal, just like how you acted like that wasn't his fault.
Someone should clean that up before he gets hurt.
Yes, loyal, just like that.
10 years of FR.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Venture X from Capital One is the travel card for people always asking,
Where next?
You earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars, and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel, and 2x miles on everything else you buy with Venture X. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
At Church's, we put it all on the table for less. Get 10-piece legs and thighs, 2 large size, 5 honey butter biscuits, and 5 jalapeno peppers starting at just $20. Church's Texas Chicken. Welcome to the great state of flavor. Offer valid at participating locations.
Breaking news on 95.7 The Game is brought to you by Beat the Street. For tips to win a $5.6 million prize. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh my God!
What's going on, Roasters? It's Brian Baldinger with the NFL Network, and you're listening to The Morning Roast with Bonta and Shasky on 95.7 The Game.
Oh, it's coming in funky. Like that, nice guy? I like that. I like that.
I'm feeling it.
I like that on a Monday morning. Good morning, everybody out there. As we start the week off, yes, we are still 13 days away from the NFL season opener for the 49ers. Play, of course, the Chicago Bears, September 11th at Soldier Field. We cannot wait for that. We'll get back into the Niners in just a second because cut-down day is tomorrow, Langford. Cut-down day is tomorrow. So is Trey Sermon going to be on the roster? And I know we're 50 minutes into the show. I didn't want to bring this guy up.
Oh.
I didn't want to bring him up.
Who?
Guy they call Jimmy.
Oh. I thought you were going to talk in Tyler Croft.
By the way.
Thought you were talking Jason Poe.
No.
That's the guy I have my eye on. Jason Poe. Come on, man.
Come on.
Better get him to the 53-man roster, Kyle Shanahan. Jason Poe, number 62. Or is he number 61?
I think 62.
62. No, he's 62 and he's 6'1".
Yeah.
I get those two mixed up. It's either he's 61 and he's 6'2", or he's 6'1" and he's 62.
Didn't have the greatest game last Thursday night.
No, he did not. I had my focus on him. I was talking very highly of him on Friday, then I honed in on him, and he kept on missing secondary and third level blocks.
It was not pretty.
No, one didn't look good.
Pretty.
Didn't look good.
Not pretty. So, cut down day.
Yes.
Because what are the 49ers going to do with Jimmy Garoppolo? We'll discuss that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Last Jerry Rice at 8:30, the GOAT, the Hall of Famer, the greatest receiver, the greatest NFL football player of all time, will join us at 8:30 on the Morning Roast, and he'll join us all season long. Not every single week, but he'll be on with us all season long. At some point, he's got a busy schedule, so we got to, whenever Jerry Rice can do it, we'll do it. We'll
Definitely.
talk to him. No doubt about that. So we'll ask him about Divo, what the heck to do with Jimmy Garoppolo. I wonder if Jerry would have said, hey, you know what, bring back Jimmy to compete with Trey Lance. I don't know. But what are the Niners going to do with number 10 tomorrow? 888-957-9570 if you want to guess what the Niners are going to do tomorrow, because it doesn't feel like there's any trade partners for Jimmy Garoppolo.
No, actually, you're right. That'd be a very interesting topic when it comes to Jimmy, because he likes Jimmy. I think he likes him overall as a quarterback, but he's also worked with Trey Lance before, and the way that he talks about Trey Lance, he speaks very highly of him. So, actually, that's going to be intriguing coming up at 8:30.
I didn't ask you this.
Yes.
But I'm seeing Roy on YouTube.
Roy.
Can he take a pay cut, or is it too late for that?
Roy. That's a good question.
Would you want him back as a backup, Langford? You're a Raider fan. I know that. I don't mean to put your business out there. You're feeling good.
It's fine.
4-0 in the preseason. Got some buzz going on. Devontae Adams, I heard he was just cooking Patriot cornerbacks in his joint practices.
Dude, he had
Vegas.
this appearance on the podcast, and the way that he was talking about it,
pivot?
he says, like, I got three different plans in my head. I got three different options depending on whatever you do. Hey, man, you shade me 5 yards outside. I got 3 things for that. Hey, man, I'm going to fool like I'm going inside. And if you think I'm going outside just because I'm fooling going inside, well, you know what? I'm going to go inside.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
I know.
I know. He's going to be a
But
stud.
covering this team for the 49ers, right?
Yeah,
what I've been doing
covering
the past 3 years,
Right.
It's fascinating seeing everything that's going on. But what was the question that you had?
Would you be open to bringing him back as a backup?
Jimmy G?
And before we go back, we'll get to him, but I'm just wondering.
No.
Sudfeld?
Don't think so.
Brock Purdy? Well, Brock Purdy made the roster. That's
See,
the biggest thing.
no,
Brock Purdy gets cut? Oh, my God, people are going to go crazy.
I think so the way that it works is with the contract, I wonder with the pay cut, obviously by the time September 11th rolls around, if they don't cut him by September 10th, that means they have to pay him the fully guaranteed contract.
Yep.
So all of it that he has, which is the $24.2 million, I believe that's the exact amount. So I'm not sure. Like, if you have a chance, if you're Jimmy Garoppolo and you have a chance to stay with the 49ers, why are you taking a pay cut? Hey, I'm here till after September 10th. Hey, I'll stick around.
My money.
I'm getting my money. Why would Jimmy take the pay cut?
Yeah.
That would be my question there. But no, I wouldn't keep him as a backup. Like, I just don't see the benefit of it for the Niners. Sure, you can, create some competition with Trey Lance, but that's all gone. That opportunity. Like, training camp is out of the way. Jimmy Garoppolo was working on the small field where the special teams was working for a majority of the time that I was there. Like, that's where Jimmy's working.
Right.
He's not competing for the starting job, or at least competing for at least giving Trey Lance some extra motivation. Like, he's not doing any of that. Training camp is far from gone, or is far away now. So, like, I don't think there's any use to bringing him back. And look, the only way that they would is I think they would keep 3 quarterbacks if they do that. So it would be either Nate Sudfeld or Brock Purdy that they'd keep as their number 2, and then they'd have Jimmy Garoppolo as the 3rd quarterback. I personally think they're just going to keep 2 quarterbacks this year.
Yeah, I think Brock Purdy's going to get cut too. By the way, the NFL's 53-man roster deadline is tomorrow.
Yep.
August 30th, 1 p.m. Pacific time. 1 p.m. Pacific time is when everybody has to have their 53-man roster set. Teams will have to whittle down and start cutting guys.
Right.
So the NFL roster maximum is 80 players ahead of cut day. So now teams are going to start figuring out who they're going to cut. One big battle, obviously, Brock Purdy, Trey Sermon, Poe, who you mentioned, the offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Also the defensive line. Who are they going to cut from that unit? That unit is loaded. How many D linemen are the Niners going to carry on this roster? Is it going to be 9?
Is it going to be 9?
10?
Yeah.
Linebacker-wise, safety, what are they doing to secondary with all the injuries? What are they going to do? That's safety. That's going to be something we look at. But cut day is official tomorrow, 1 p.m. 1 p.m. tomorrow. Teams have to set their 53-man roster in 209 on the Comcast Business text line. Did you see Jimmy Garoppolo was on the NFL Top 100 list yesterday? He was 106 106. He just missed the cut of the top 100.
So he wasn't on the top 100 list.
He was on the top 110 list.
He was on the top 110
top
list.
110.
Congratulations, Jimmy. Top 110. Yeah, I mean, that's something, I guess. I don't really know how they quantify that. Like, how far up does it go? Do they have a top 200?
They should.
Do they have I mean, they might as well go top 300 at this point.
106, baby.
I mean,
106. And you heard the player. I forgot who the player was who broke it down. But he was like, he has one of the quickest releases in the game. And you just see a highlight montage of Jimmy throwing it.
Right.
Quick release. Well, that's not his story, but
yeah.
I
will say that the suitors for Garoppolo, it has expanded now. I think it's more than just, he's going to go to the Seahawks. Like, I think isn't that the prevailing thought? Is just, Jimmy's going to the Seahawks if he gets cut. No doubt about it.
Well, I mean,
they named Geno Smith the starter.
Well, did you see Drew Lock? And that'll put a lot of stock in the preseason. But Drew Lock looked like he was in regular season form in their last preseason game in Dallas.
Really?
He threw 3 interceptions.
I was about to ask, did he throw like one big touchdown where it's like, whoa, Drew Lock made that throw? He should be the starter, but then he throws 3 INTs.
He threw 3, and there were some bad interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Bad interceptions.
Yeah.
And he looked depressed after the game. He knew that was his shot to take the starting job.
He's not out there singing Young Jeezy?
No, he's not.
Or Jeezy, excuse me. He took the Young out a little while ago.
He did take the Young out. It's just Jeezy
He's not singing Jeezy.
Yeah, he's not young no more.
That's one of my favorite videos ever, is the Drew Lock singing Jeezy on the sideline as he's crushing the Raiders.
That was pretty legit. By the way, since we're here, not to take the train off the track, but when is Wayne going to just be Wayne, not Lil Wayne? Like, at some point, you have to take the little off your name.
Good point.
You become 35, 36. You're not Lil anymore. You're a grown-ass man. Like, little baby. What is going to happen? Is he going to just be called baby soon? Are you going to take the little off?
Well, you know what? Lil Wayne turns 40 on September 27th.
Not Lil no more.
So less than a month. When you're 40, take off the Lil. You're just Wayne. Gosh, what a boring rapper name.
Lil Wayne.
What's up? I'm Wayne.
I'm Wayne.
I don't know. Whatever. But the suitors, though, from preseason. So the Giants, what happened with Tyrod Taylor? I believe it was yesterday.
He got carted off. Yeah,
he got carted. Now, they said he's okay. It was, Brian Dable says that he's going to be okay. But you don't know what's going to happen there. With the Panthers, I don't think they're going to have a quarterback room of Baker Mayfield and Jimmy Garoppolo there, but Sam Darnold has a high ankle sprain.
Right.
Who knows what's going to happen there? Are they inclined to possibly sign Jimmy? I mean, it seems like those were the 3 teams that we were talking about as far as trade partners goes. Because their quarterback rooms don't exactly have much depth. They don't have like a young up and coming rookie like the Falcons or the Titans or anything like that.
Carolina is interesting, Langford, because Darnold's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks with the high ankle sprain.
Yeah,
they need a backup. Who's the other guy? PJ Walker.
Yep,
he played a little bit last year.
Yeah,
I don't know how many games you can win with him.
Right.
Cleveland is still out there. Seattle's definitely. I think Seattle may be the spot, and the Niners may be at this point saying, "Look, we want him to get as less time to prepare as possible. We want to make sure that we see Geno Smith week 2. And I don't think the Niners are afraid of Jimmy Garoppolo, but you want to have a competitive advantage against a team within your division. So maybe that's it. Maybe Seattle is the place for him.
It might be. I think that'd be dumb for Cleveland to not pick him up, though. Everyone's just like, oh, you know what? Jacoby Brissett plays mistake-free football, blah, blah, blah.
I don't know about that.
But if Jimmy's cut and you could get him for a cheaper price, like the original talking point was, well, you know what, the Browns could trade for him and they could pay his fully guaranteed contract. That way, you could just trade for him and he's not going to reject it, because he still can reject a trade if possible, but not unless the other team pays the entirety of his salary. So we're like, oh, you know what, he could go to the Browns and they could pay the entire salary because they have that much money left in their salary cap. But now if you could get him at a discounted price, like I don't know, man. For 11 games is a lot, man.
Jimmy will keep you in football games. Jimmy will give you I believe Jimmy gives you a better chance to win football games than Jacoby Brissett.
Mike Florio, when he joined you guys last week, or us rather, last week, and he said something to the effect of, when talking about Jimmy possibly going to the Seahawks, well, you know what? He can be that type of quarterback where you can not exactly do a full 180 and they're an instant playoff team, but you can make them, better than what's expected than with Geno Smith, which I do agree with. But the Seahawks roster, I don't know if it works with DK and Tyler Lockett for Jimmy G. Like, I don't know if 2 deep threats is going to work. But with the Browns, man, they have everything that you'd want on the offensive side. I think the Browns would be dumb to not sign Jimmy. That's just me.
How frustrating would it be for Amari Cooper if Jimmy is the quarterback? I mean, Amari Cooper loves to go deep, too.
He does, but he can run the short intermediate routes. He can. I get that, but it's more just their run game, their offensive line. Like, Jimmy has proven that he can work with a good roster, and they also got a good defense, too.
They do have a really good defense. No doubt about that. By the way, we're getting the Lil Wayne stuff. Our boy Dante Wiley. What up, Dante? YouTube. Hey, B, Lil Wayne is 5'2". Then I see the 602 on the Comcast Business text line. Wayne is literally little. He's maybe 5'4", 925. Lil Wayne is only 5'1". So
which one is it?
It's basically he's short. By the way, Hawk Hater, what up, Hawk Hater? Lil Baby going to change his name to Toddler.
Toddler?
The official height for Lil Wayne on Google, according to Google, is 5 feet 5 inches. So
okay. Wow.
5'5"'s not. I thought come on, he's got to be shorter. I've seen him in person.
Really?
He's got to be shorter.
Where'd you see him?
So when he was with the Cash Money Millionaires, Hot Boys, when they were really hot. When it was Back That Ass Up and Bling Bling and all that. They did a concert at the Oakland Coliseum. And Bay legends know about this college. They never really got to do their concert because people started fighting. And it became a big-time brawl. And it became ugly. And so they were staying at the Miyako Hotel in Japantown. They could still call it the Miyako Hotel. Right up the street from Benihana's. And so me being a senior in high school, I'm aging myself here. We knew they were staying there, so all of us was waiting right there, and they had all the security stuff. So I saw Manny Fresh. Manny Fresh was like 5'4", 5'5". Lil Wayne he was a lot younger back then, but he was like 5'2", 5'1". I was like, damn, the Cash Money Millionaires are short. So we saw him there. We saw him there at the hotel, getting under a charter bus, and then they dipped off without doing a concert. So people remember that concert in Oakland.
So it made sense that Lil Wayne was his name because he's actually Lil.
At the time.
Yeah.
At the time.
Interesting. But when it comes to Jimmy G, that's not all. That put him to the side real quick. Another thought that I had from the weekend, actually speaking on this on this current 49ers team. I don't know if anybody's seeing what's happening in Miami right now, but Mike McDaniel, head coach over there.
You saw Baldy's breakdowns?
Dude. So he was the OC here with the 49ers, and he was the run game coordinator. Mike McDaniel did not get any notoriety at all as the run game coordinator because no one heard him speak until last year when he started going to the podium because he was the offensive coordinator.
Right.
Like, I'm really curious this year to see what that run game looks like because Mike McDaniel's slowly been behind the scenes, watching a lot of film, breaking down a lot of tape, and designing those plays. And he's doing it right now with Miami, and he's having a lot of success, even with a 7th-round quarterback. Thompson, I don't remember his first name, but I'm seeing Raheem Mostert go off for a big run and look at that scheme, and I'm just like, wow, that is exactly what we've seen with the Niners.
River Craycraft. And Trent Sherfield's on that roster. And Baldy was breaking it down their last preseason game against the Eagles. Their different formations, how they're setting the fullback and getting matchups based on spacing.
Yeah.
And then the cheetah, Tyreek Hill, first play of the game, 51 yards, boom. Now, was it a bad throw?
Could have been a touchdown, actually. If that was thrown a little hard, that would have been a touchdown.
We're talking about Tua Tagovailoa here. All right, you're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and AC1 San Francisco, always live on the free Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game for the best and most up-to-date sports coverage. And don't forget that you can also watch us every day on our YouTube and Twitch streams. Just log on to Search 95.7 The Game. Nice guy, Stephen Langford, in for Joe Shasky the Butcher. We got Craig, we got Loveman, got yours truly, Bonta Hill, right here on the microphone. Jerry Rice to GOAT will join us at 8:30. Dave Flemming, 8 o'clock. That's right. Jerry Rice will join us at 8:30 because the latest news with Divo Samuel. Knee bruise. In the back of the knee, he has a
contusion.
Bruise.
In the back of the knee.
Contusion. Quote, unquote, bruise. It's just a fancy word for bruise. It's a contusion. Bruise. Same thing. He's not going to practice this week. As the Niners get ready for Chicago, they've got a couple weeks to ramp up for the Chicago Bears. He's not going to practice this week. I'm a little concerned just because of the games played. He has to play 2 consecutive slates in his career. He stepped on campus in South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, and every since then he's had a year where he plays a full season, and he misses half the season.
Right.
Plays a full season, misses most of the season. Same thing with the Niners so far. So that's been going on, this trend where he hasn't played 2 consecutive seasons. And a lot of people say, well, he doesn't look like he's in the best shape. He's not getting separation on the line of scrimmage. I talked to Shasky yesterday. He said, man, in the drills, Devo's failing to gain separation. He also believes Devo's going to run the ball a lot more than is perceived. Like, Devo didn't want to run the ball. Well, it sounds like he's going to run the ball a lot more. That's what makes Devo Devo. But these injuries that are taking a toll on the 49ers, man, I don't like it. And then we already talked about the offensive line incessantly, about the 4 new starters on the offensive line. I'm not sure I'm feeling it, man. This Devo situation, I'm not concerned, but I am going to monitor it all season long to see where he's at.
I think the Jimmy Ward injury is more concerning. I want to see what he looks like when he's back off the IR and, he's done after 4 weeks and finally he can get back onto the field. I think that one's more of a concern than Devo. Like, Devo's been playing hurt. I mean, last year even, he ended that season limping off the field against the Packers, both him and Trent Williams. Like, he's always like this. So right. I'm not too concerned over Divo, and you're right. Like the lack of getting separation, it is something to monitor. But I think Kyle Shanahan can scheme him open. And getting back to the Mike McDaniel point, like I'm just curious to see. I'm not going to say the run game's just going to be different now that Mike McDaniel's out.
You want to see how creative the Niners are in the run game.
I want to see what that's like.
So Baldy's high on that. He thinks that the Niners will miss him. And Divo Samuel joined NFL Network a few weeks ago. He said, "We still have Kyle Shanahan. Mm-hmm. We won't miss Wes Welker, and we won't miss Mike McDaniel." Now we know Kyle Shanahan calls the plays. So how responsible was Mike McDaniel for all the success for the 49ers offense? We're going to see. We're going to figure that out week 1 against Chicago.
Yes, and in talking about the run game, how creative they can get there, and then wide receivers getting creative too. There was just reading up on football, doing a little previews here and there, and I was reading up on the Saints wide receiver core, and I read something which basically said that the Saints need a more creative output from their wide receivers, meaning don't just run the set plays when because Jameis is very good at escaping pressure,
no doubt,
and getting out of pressure. So it's what can the 49ers do creatively to get themselves some space and separation in the open field, kind of like the Seahawks with Russell Wilson. I also want to see that from the 49ers this year, because with Jimmy Garoppolo, it's just been nonstop system.
Right.
It's just Debo, you know what you're going to do? You're going to run a 2 route. You're going to run a 2 route. You are going to run 2 steps, then you're going to slant in. Jimmy's going to get you the ball right there. Just run the route, and Jimmy will get you the ball there. I wonder what they're going to look like creatively on the run game and at the wide receiver position.
Do you know what? I think the same thing's going to happen with Trey Lance. Trey Lance is not going to get the full enchilada right away. He's second-year quarterback.
Right.
Started 2 games last year. It's not going to, all of a sudden, Trey Lance is going to play. We're going to open up the playbook. We're going to run all this exotic stuff. It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same offense.
Well, I'm not saying you run exotic stuff, but I'm saying when the play breaks down. When the play broke down with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, yeah, he's not mobile.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Play's over.
That's what I'm saying.
Out of bounds.
That's what I'm saying. Of course, they're going to run the same type of system, and they're going to run the simple system.
The broken offense.
Yeah.
The off-script stuff.
Exactly.
The element of surprise.
I want to see how well Brandon Ayuk and Debo can do that.
I think they're going to do it.
Because Trey Lance is going to be pressured a lot.
Well, you saw it last year against Houston. When Debo hit that go route, or that post route, it was really, and Trey Lance made some plays like that. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Trey, but he's got to build that rapport with Debo Samuel. That's one thing that I was disappointed in.
Yeah,
Debo was asked earlier in training camp, how come you didn't work out with Trey Lance? We just couldn't get on this. From what I heard, he wanted Trey to come down to Miami. Trey was in L.A. with his people. Ayuk was in L.A. Debo, how about you just go meet the quarterback? Get out of Miami. Go to L.A. Go hang out with Trey. Go build reps. We talk all about Jimmy Garoppolo, quote-unquote, ghosting the team. Well, I don't like the fact that the star wide receiver kind of ghosted the quarterback.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about that when he signed the new deal, because it's like, all right, well, he signed the deal. Who really cares? But you can't tell me that there wasn't something there. And maybe it was due to, it's, we got to pay you this amount, but we also want you to run the football. Yeah. And we also know that you're the type of guy that tends to play hurt because of the physical style of football that you play. Should we give you this $25 million a year contract? I do think there was... when they were in discussions for that contract extension, I do think they were at a standstill for quite a bit there. There's a reason that the extension didn't happen prior to training. I know it's how they normally do things.
It's how they operate.
Well, it is how they operate.
But also Debo had to show a little bit more maturity as well. the way he went about his business.
There was something there.
You know, there was something there. By the way, what's up, Mike Snow on Twitch? Our Twitch audience is still hanging out there. Dark horse team Jimmy might go to is Miami. Tua is injury prone. Would Mike McDaniels bring another former 49er down to South Beach, Miami? You know, Jimmy would love to be at South Beach. Oh, he would love to be back in the AFC East playing for the Miami Dolphins. May happen. We'll see. We'll see. Cut down day tomorrow, 1 p.m. West Coast time. Listen to Steiny and Guru. Tomorrow, of course, when Cut Down Day happens at 1 o'clock, it'll be live during their show. Don't forget to download the Odyssey app. The Odyssey app is really fun. 95.7 The Game, thousands of other stations, and millions of podcasts are free on the Odyssey app. Don't forget about that. Jerry Rice the GOAT, 8:30. Dave Flemming, 8 o'clock. I'm going to continue to talk some 49er football, and we'll eventually transition back into the Giants before Flem. Not much to talk about with them. They're done. They're cooked. We're just counting down the days of football season. Attendance? Somebody, I dare somebody to have the audacity to talk about the attendance tonight. They'll be looking to get 15,000 at that park.
Flem, was Divo ranked number 19 on the top 100 too low?
That's what's coming up on the game, sponsored by Caltrade Stormwater.
We see a lot of trash on our highways and in our waterways. This isn't what we want. Clean highways, clean water. Now that is what we want. You can help change this to that. Learn how at cleanwaterca.com from the Caltrans Stormwater Program.
Now with Xfinity, you'll get unlimited internet with gig speed and supersonic Wi-Fi. With a 2-year internet rate guarantee, no annual contract required, and no equipment fees. Talk about knock your socks off. Ooh, plus a free Flex 4K streaming box. It's like hitting the streaming jackpot. It's all just $50 a month when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data. $50 a month. A price that's truly jaw-dropping.
Oh, literally.
The speed you need at a price you want. Value that's simply bananas. That's the new Xfinity Supersonic Bundle. It's kind of a big deal. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store to learn more.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New gigabit internet customers only. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. After 24 months, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
Everything, our farm, our stand, our pop-up shop, it really all started when we discovered the benefits of local, raw honey for our family.
And then we decided to turn it into a business.
We were looking for something to help us get up and running.
So we got the Chase Business Complete Banking Account.
It's more than a bank account. It comes with Quick Accept, which lets us take card payments anytime, anywhere in the U.S. using the Chase mobile app. Plus, we get same-day deposits at no extra cost. For us, it's more than honey. It's about sharing a little sweetness with the world.
Get the Chase Business Complete Banking Account with the essentials you need to help get your business going. Learn more at chase.com/business-complete-banking. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Quick Accept is not available in U.S. territories. Enrollment required. Usage subject to approval. Same-day deposits available for payments before 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday to Friday. Fees and rates apply for checking and processing. Limitations and restrictions apply. Participants compensated. Merchant services provided by Payment Tech LLC and WePay Inc. Subsidiaries of J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Breathe new life into life at home with Ikea Festival. 10 topics, one purpose. To get more out of the homes we love. What are you passionate about? Art, dance, music, food, fur babies. Get inspired, create, and share with us. With celebrations, giveaways, IKEA family offers, and live streams with expert advice. It's all happening at IKEA Festival. Join us from August 26th through September 10th online or at your local IKEA store. Learn more at IKEA-USA.com.
Bart is turning 50 and we'd love to celebrate with you. Get 50% off your ride in honor of Bart's 50 years of service to the Bay Area when you pay with Clipper. That's 50% off Clipper Bart fares for the entire month of September. Add Clipper to your digital wallet for free. If you're eligible for other Clipper discounts like youth or senior fares, you get to take an additional 50% off those too. Details at bart.gov/50 years. That's bart.gov/50 years. Celebrate Bart's 50 years of service with us this September. Let's go!
Why do we find popping bubble wrap so satisfying? Why do we say boop when we touch somebody's nose? Boop? Why do we turn anything and everything into drums?
Honey, I need those pots to start dinner.
Why do we sing in the shower?
I'm taking a shower.
And outside the shower.
This conference call is boring.
Rick, you are not on mute.
Why? For the same reason we play scratchers from the California Lottery. Because a little play can make your day. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to purchase, play, or claim.
T-Mobile believes customers deserve to get more without paying more. Everything from entertainment benefits like Netflix on Us to travel benefits to Scam Shield protection, all with taxes and fees included. So the price you see is the price you pay. When you're a T-Mobile customer, you get over $225 in value every month in benefits with our Max Family Plan.
That's like paying for nosebleed seats and getting to sit in the front row.
That's right. At T-Mobile, your family gets over $225 worth of value and benefits with our Max plan each and every month. Plus, with our Price Lock Guarantee, we won't raise your rate plan price for talk, text, and data ever.
That's like paying for a cab and getting a stretch limo.
At T-Mobile, you get value beyond the expected.
Qualifying service required. Value based on included monthly benefits. Sales tax and regulatory fees included in Max's monthly price. Price Lock guarantees rate price of talk, text, and data for new accounts with qualifying service. Exclusions apply. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Kansas City Steak Company, another AmericanEagle.com success story. Started in 1932 as a family-owned butcher shop, today they're a leading distributor of superior all-American steaks delivered right to your door, ready for the grill and your taste buds. When it came to their website, an average site wouldn't do. They chose AmericanEagle.com to take their website to the next level. With a dramatic increase in competition and a softening market demand, they had two challenges: improve their brand presence and message, and produce a positive return. AmericanEagle.com got to work and executed usability studies and detailed audits of site experience, digital assets, and marketing. The result? An integrated digital marketing and customer experience plan, organic traffic increase of 20%, and a long-term roadmap for success. If you love great steaks, go to kansascitysteaks.com for website design, development, and online solutions that bring efficiency and results. Visit AmericanEagle.com. If you need a results-driven website, call the team at AmericanEagle.com at 877-WEBNOW1. That's 877-WEBNOW1.
I love Law & Order because it's the same episode every single time.
John Mulaney is bringing The Lost back to the Bay Area, September 17th at the Concord Pavilion. For your shot at tickets, listen to Willard and Dibbs every morning this week at 10:30.
Trey Lance, Divo Samuel, Nick Bosa. Ooh, man, I can't wait to talk about the Niners. What's up, Bonta, Shasky, and all the roasters? It's Baldy. I'll be back with you guys every Tuesday morning at 7:30 to break it down. All right, boys, take it away.
Damn, Baldy gets me fired up. And Baldy sounds good over any beat. Metallica, Red Hot Chili Peppers, even though I wouldn't know what beat that is. But bling, bling.
You think Baldy would know what this beat is?
Oh, he would know bling, bling. Baldy knows what's up.
I got to say, Bonta, that I know there's probably some business to take care of, some reads to get through, but
we could wait on that.
I love the listeners. Love the listeners. But Ernie Chavez, this dude, he follows all of us. I don't know if he sleeps. He's up from 6A to 6B and somehow is up at 5 a.m. Talking about my show too. Pregame show, 5 to 6, Monday through Friday. Check it out.
He's up all night.
He's up all night. I'm convinced.
Every single day. Weekends, everything.
And so he just tweeted at us. And I was talking in the last segment just about Mike McDaniel with the Dolphins, now head coach, former offensive coordinator, the play design that they're running for the Dolphins, everything that they're running. It feels like I'm watching the 49ers on offense when I'm watching that offense go. I really do. And Mike McDaniel, underrated as a play designer for this 49ers team with Kyle Shanahan. And then Ernie made the connection. This could be like a Waterboy situation, where Henry Winkler, the head coach, gets his playbook stolen from the other coach.
Yeah, this tweet is great.
Nah, it's not going to be like that. It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be like that. I don't think much is going to change, but I do think there's going to be. I do find that fascinating, though, seeing what happened with Mike McDaniel over the weekend.
You know, after watching the Man's High Tail doc, is Ernie Chavez a real person?
I think Ernie's real.
Yeah, he is real.
Ernie's real.
He's not catfishing us?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I don't believe so either.
That'd be a long con for Ernie. Just like running the he's been commenting ever since I've started here.
We've become friends on IG now.
Right? He's
my
real.
guy.
He's real.
Nah, I know.
He's real.
I'm teasing. He's a good dude. By the way, Beat the Streak. There's $5.6 million up for grabs with the MLB Beat the Streak game. Check out the Beat the Streak Daily podcast to find out which players have the best chance to get a hit today so you can get closer to becoming a millionaire. Call out players from your local MLB team who are hot or due for a hit. Download Beat the Streak daily on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast. We know who's not due for a hit. Maybe he is due for a hit, but I don't know. Lamont Wade Jr. He's batting second Saturday, batting third yesterday. Dude's batting like 180. I mean, I can't wait to talk to Flemming about this Giants team. Because it really is depressing. When you watch them in Minnesota, they looked helpless. Helpless. Joey Bart's still batting ninth.
Yep.
For what it's worth. Starters not giving you 5-6 innings. Bullpen stinking. They're now 4 games under 500, 61-65. In the free agency list, I just don't know what they do. I was talking to Lubman yesterday, and let's chew on this for a second because I want to get right back into the 49ers.
Okay.
I almost feel like they need to just rip this down to the studs and start from scratch. It feels like they're damn near at ground zero in the first place. You've got Logan Webb. You have Camilo Duvall.
Okay.
I don't believe Rodon's coming back. If you want to bring back Wilmer Flores, sure. Tyro Estrada, okay. What else? Yes, I'm out on.
So the free agents next year. Evan Longoria, free agent. Brandon Belt. Jock Peterson, Dom Leone, Jose Alvarez, and then the 2 that you just mentioned, Carlos Rodon and Wilmer Flores. And those last 2, I'd be willing to bring back. And if you're looking to pay if you can get Carlos Rodon for a 3-year deal worth upwards of $95 million, I think that's what he's going to be making on the open market. He's going to be making at least $30 million a year. I believe so. So if the Giants, could get that for him, or him for that, I'm good with that. But what do you mean tear it down, though? What's your definition of that?
Well, not even just tear it down. You probably don't have much to tear down.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't have much to tear down.
What is your definition?
I don't think they should necessarily go on a spending spree this offseason. Because they're so far away. They pay Aaron Judge, right? The only thing that Aaron Judge does for this organization is sell a bunch of jerseys. It's not going to help this team win games. They're more than one player away. They're like 10 players away. A legit 10 players. They're so... wait till they get on the field with the Phillies, the Dodgers, the Brewers, the Braves, and the Dodgers again. 17 of their next 19, excluding the Padres. Actually, you want to add the Padres? Let's add the Padres. 17 of their next 19 are against playoff teams.
Right. So I believe that... Look, I do want them to spend this offseason. I don't like the free. I'm not going to look down at the free agency list in 2024, but there are a couple who I have my eye on because Brandon Belt was one of those impending free agents. They're not going to bring Brandon Belt back. He basically ripped up whatever new deal they were possibly going to offer him when he bunted. That's right. You know what I mean? He just denied any notion that they could pay him with that. So they're not going to bring him back. I'd love for them to get Trey Mancini if possible. Sign him as the first base. I got a wish list, Bonta. I got a wish. I know it's out of bounds.
I'm not mad at Trey.
I got that, and wait for this one.
Josh Bell. You want Josh Bell?
No, not Josh Bell. I mean, I'd like him if they could get him at first base. I'd like him. I think the Padres are going to keep him though. But who knows what's going to happen there? I don't really care to see Brandon Crawford starting next year. I just don't.
You want Carlos Correa?
Carlos Correa will be one of those guys with the Twins, although he may stay with the Twins.
You're a big Xander Bogaerts guy.
You knew it. How'd you know that?
Because I could just...
Xander's my guy, man.
I just know you.
And I looked it up.
I'll listen to you at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. What?
I've heard Xander a lot.
Come on, bro.
I've heard Xander a lot.
It's a great theory, although my theory doesn't really work anymore because the whole point was, well, it's like you're going to have to move Brandon Crawford. No, those two are shortstops, both him and Xander. And I searched up Xander Bogaerts' third base, and apparently someone asked him about that prior to the season, and he said, I've been a shortstop my whole life. Yeah. And this was in relation to Carlos Correa possibly signing with the Red Sox. So my whole thing was, I don't want to see Brandon Crawford be an everyday player next year. You put Xander Bogaerts in that slot. You got Tyro Estrada on the other side of second base. Then the question is what you do at third base. And that's a question really I don't have an answer for because when I was hot on this Xander Bogaerts thing, that's when J.D. Davis was actually hitting the baseball.
Let's pause.
Hasn't really done that.
You're not going to win games with J.D. Davis as one of your core players.
Hasn't done that. Lineup.
You're not going to win games. That's why the Mets flipped him. You think if he was that dude, the Mets flipped him for Darren Ruff.
Right.
That's how highly they thought of J.D. Davis. They traded for Darren Ruff. And if you don't remember Darren Ruff, let me remind you about Darren Ruff.
He wasn't quite ready.
Do you have more calls?
We've got more calls. Okay. Sam in Concord, you're on the line.
Cap, we're starting to get into that habit of over-managing again. Jock Peterson's the best player on the Giants, but got a lefty pitcher coming up, so we got to pinch hit Jock for Austin Slater or Darren Ruff because we got to get that righty-lefty matchup. Never mind the fact that Jock is hitting better against lefty pitchers than either Slater or Ruff. I mean, if you want to follow the data, that's fine, but at least follow it correctly. I'll hang up and listen.
Sam Lubman,
So,
NBC Sports Bay Area.
Where I'm at is
that's how highly the Mets thought of J.D. Davis. They traded for that guy. Lubman just threw into the dirt.
platoon DH over there in New York.
That was a couple months ago.
But my whole point is I don't think they need to tear this whole thing down. I do think there are plenty of additions that you can make. I do want to see them bolster that outfield. Like, I don't want to see Austin Slater, Lamont Wade, and Mike Yastrzemski out there.
They need 3 new dudes in the outfield.
They need somebody new in that outfield.
So
no
here's
doubt.
where I'm at.
No doubt.
650 Comcast Business Text Line. They had 107 wins last year. What makes you think they're 10 players away? I know they need help, but a few players would help. Not a complete teardown. Okay, maybe not a complete teardown because they're already at rock bottom. We just named the outfield. Yaz, Slater, Lamont Wade Jr. Come on. We serious here? Let's stop. Last year's season is an outlier to what the last 6 years have been for Giants fans. It's been ugly. Ugly baseball. They're not getting back to 107 next season.
Well, you know what?
And you got to sign multiple guys. It's not just Aaron Judge. It's not just Xander Bogaerts. I wouldn't mind Dansby Swanson, by the way. Dansby's not bad in the ATL. I don't know how his power is going to translate to Oracle Park, but Dansby's a nice player.
I like Dansby right now. I don't know. There's something about him. I just don't want to give him that deal. Maybe that's just because I'm such a big Xander Bogaerts fan.
Maybe.
But if Farhan is so good at the bargain shopping for starting pitchers, right? If he's so good at spending cheap, by the way, here's my prediction for the Farhan fine for next year. It's going to be either Zach Davies from the Diamondbacks
you keep saying this.
or it's going to be Joe Ross, guaranteed. Gosh. I'm not saying that they're going to thrive. I'm just saying that's what's going to happen. Giving you facts. But the outfield, all I need them to do, bargain shop in the outfield, find someone to be a placeholder for the year, and then wait until my man, Von Brown, gets called up, who just got called up to AA, Bonta. How about that?
Oh, boy.
They're
so far away.
Willard and Kruger are coming up next afterwards, and I can't wait to talk to them in the changeover. I heard that Kruger's a big Von Brown guy, too.
Dude,
we can mind meld.
You guys can mind meld. I'm not going to do it. I just might as well check out of 2023. All right, so the outfield, right?
44 stolen bases, Bonta.
Aaron Judge, Michael Brantley, Will Myers, A.J. Pollock, Joey Gallo, Adam Duvall, Kevin Kiermaier, Von Brown. I know Lubman's, he's got hype. You got him hyped up about Von Brown. I'm not going to do it yet. Let me see him.
Every day.
2023 sounds like a wash. It sounds like a wash. If I was screaming about them being unwatchable this year, what am I going to say next season?
I will say this. It does feel like next year, it feels very similar to where they were around the 2019-2020 season. You know, where it's just, okay, we need to make some additional pieces here. We got to grab somebody in free agency. It feels a lot like that. I will concede to that. I will.
YouTube has got to be rolling here.
Oh, boy.
Aunt Will, Flea Market Farhan. I actually like that name. Flea Market Farhan. What is Flea Market Farhan?
Yo, dude, I mean, what's wrong with the flea market?
Hey, man, you know, the Dodgers, again, they're shopping on Rodeo Drive. San Diego's going to Paris, shopping down their shopping strip. Giants are out there going to the San Leandro flea market, trying to buy some knockoff Nikes. Stop. Come on, man.
It's called supporting local businesses and not these big corporations, Bonta.
Dante Wiley,
not going to conform to that.
So much for late night Lamont.
Yeah, they tried calling him lunchtime Lamont because he had a couple of good day games. It didn't work.
Sounds like late night Lamont needs some sleep. Needs some rest.
A little bit.
Payless Farhan. Grocery outlet Farhan. He definitely ain't no Trader Joe Farhan. He definitely ain't shopping at Trader Joe's or Whole Foods. He's not even shopping at Safeway.
You can get some good deals at Trader Joe's.
Maybe.
You got some good deals.
Maybe.
Nah, man, I don't know.
This is where I'm at. Hold
I
on
agree.
real quick. 650. The Giants are 2 years away from being 2 years away. That statement is so true.
That's just a saying.
It is a saying, but it's true with this team.
That's just a cliche that people throw out there.
It is a cliche that is true with this team.
No, it's not.
They're 2 years away from being 2 years away.
What does that mean?
What does that mean is that they're 2 years away from bringing up all the prospects and see what the prospects look like and see if they can attract some free agents. And then from there, okay, yeah, in 2 years we're going to be ready to go. Maybe quicker.
I don't buy that.
They're a long way away, Langford.
I don't buy that.
The reality, look, the Twins are a mediocre baseball team.
Mm.
I mean, the Twins are not like Twins got great uniforms.
Yeah,
they have Carlos Correa. Twins are 65 and 61, and they couldn't even compete with that team. They were not competitive, Langford.
Right,
not even close. They're closer to the Tigers, who are 2 years away from being 2 years away. They're closer to the Diamondbacks, who look a lot better lately. And this is what wowed me yesterday. Mm-hmm. I saw this on Twitter.
Keep going.
Steve Berman, The Athletic. This blew me away. Blew me away.
Okay.
Here you go, A's fan. They're going to like this. The A's are 16 and 20 since the All-Star break. They split with the Yankees. The Yankees. Giants are 13 and 22 since the break. The A's have been the better team since the All-Star break.
Sad.
That's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
It's sad. Yeah, it's very sad.
Yes.
And I don't see no end to it. I'm sorry. It's tough for me to be optimistic right now about the squad.
Well, I know. Until you pay attention to Von Brown, it's going to be very tough for you to be optimistic.
Where did he get promoted to, AA?
Yeah. Gosh. Telling you. Wait till you see this dude.
He's in Richmond now.
Will Clark high on him. I'm just saying. No, I get where you're coming from, but they can sign free, like, they don't have to sign these big name free agents right now, but I do think that there's something that's going to change. I really do. Like, I know this is far on, this is who he is. People can change, and I do believe that he will. How can you go into this offseason? Like, I don't consider Farhan to be a dumb guy. I think it'd be dumb to go into this offseason and not try to spend big on at least somebody or take a chance. Like, I just...
So is that chance on 30-year-old Aaron Judge? Is it on Trey Turner?
Could be. Should be.
Because the Dodgers, Langford, I'm watching the Dodgers. Joey Gallo looks capable.
All right,
he looks like a comparable player now.
There's not going to be any convincing you right now that the Giants are going to be good at all. What can they do? What can they do to maybe change your mind? Is there anything they could do? Anything.
In terms of what, competing?
Anything they could do to bolster their roster and maybe make you feel confident that they're not 2 years away from being 2 years away.
Well, if they go on a spending spree, here's my thought process. Sure, money sways a lot of people. Mm-hmm. You throw the money at people and they may come.
For sure.
But I'm going to believe it when I see it. Like, we could talk about Trey Turner. We could talk about Xander Bogaerts. We could talk about all these players. Why would they come here? Why would they come here right now knowing that this team is data-driven? Like right. You look at the lineup yesterday and Saturday.
For sure.
How in the hell is Lamont Wade Jr. batting second and third?
You didn't answer my question.
There's nothing they can do right now.
Oh, okay.
Because they're data-driven. I'm getting there. Okay. I'm getting there. It's not a simple answer, Langford. It's a long, complicated answer. Lamont Wade Jr. is batting second for you. Tommy Lastella's batting leadoff. Now, some people may say, well, you really have a choice. Like, Shasky's batting fifth.
Yeah.
Their philosophy, it's either their way or the highway. Is Aaron Judge going to be sold by this? Is Xander Bogaerts going to be sold by this? Hey, Xander, you may bat second today, but tomorrow you may bat eighth because the numbers say you don't hit against this guy. I think they're so far away. I think honestly, in my lifetime, because I never thought the Niners would go through a dark age, right? They went through the dark ages after Mooch got fired. They didn't make the playoffs until Harbaugh came around, right? That was damn near 10 years. I think this stretch of Giants baseball is going to be the roughest stretch of ball that we're ever going to see in our lifetime.
Wow.
Dating back to 2017. I truly believe that. I don't think when the Giants become competitive again, watch this for a hot take.
Ooh.
I truly believe this.
Uh-oh.
When the Giants become good again, I don't think Farhan's going to be the president of baseball operations. I think that's how far they are away.
Farhan away?
I see what you did there.
Couldn't help it.
That's a 2.
Couldn't help it.
That's a 2.
Don't rate my jokes.
That's a 2.
That's a 9 to 12 thing.
Giants are light years away.
Rate my joke.
Where's the light at the end of the tunnel?
Right.
I don't see it.
It's hard to see.
I don't even think we're in the tunnel yet.
Yeah.
We haven't entered the tunnel yet.
Yeah.
It's a traffic jam. It's like going through Broadway Tunnel.
It's like if the tunnel just never ends.
Never ends. The Broadway Tunnel, 9 o'clock, people trying to get to work. And you cross that street over to the Broadway Tunnel, you can't even get into the tunnel yet.
Right.
Giants aren't in the tunnel yet.
Right.
So seeing the light, you can't even see the tunnel.
I think that, well, look, man, you say money's not everything. I think money talks. Money talks big time. If they're willing to spend more money than another team, then I think they'd be willing to come here. Now, the question is...
all money ain't good money.
What are they going to spend? I don't know. I don't know.
Are the Giants' money good? Is that money good?
There's not too much to look at right now and think, this is a free agent destination. But Farhan has to do something, man. Like he's got to do something.
Just fan base. Farhan has lost his fan base. Rebel 444 don't even have a car to get to the tunnel. Damn.
Sorry, Rebel.
Damn. Seriously. Like I just 888-957-9570. Langford's asking me, is there a light at the end of the tunnel? What is it going to do to make me believe? I don't believe
Is there anything they can do?
All right, Giants fans, is there anything they can do to make you believe that there's a light at the end of the tunnel? That they could turn this bad boy around? Because what I saw this past weekend in Minnesota, what I saw in Detroit, that's just lifeless baseball.
Right.
It was lifeless baseball. This farm system, where is this farm? I just heard about Von Brown. What about Ramos? What about, it's about all these players I don't know about.
Matos has been killing it. Jairo Palmares actually having a pretty good season there in high A. Bonta, you should check it out. Casey Schmidt too. That dude, the third baseman, double A. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. No, look, I think if they make the moves that I personally just mentioned earlier, if they add Trey Mancini and Xander Bogaerts to this team, then we're cooking here. And also you sign Rodon.
Come on.
It's not getting it done, but it gives you something to build off of. It gives you something. Just do anything. Because if you tear it down, that means you're 2 years away from being 2 years away.
Well, I mean, they're not that far from being torn down.
Mm.
They're not that far. I guess 415 is saying, yes, you got to start by signing Carlos Correa. That's courtesy of the Comcast Business Text line.
Be tough.
Our poll question of the day, Langford.
Ooh.
Will Farhan Zaidi still be with the Giants the next time they are competitive? So far, 4 votes. Yes is winning, 75%.
No, those are not all my dummy accounts, so you don't need to ask that question.
That is definitely
those aren't the Lubman burners?
Oh, Lubman, you have a burner?
Sure, no, of course not.
Yes, you do. You're a liar. I swear, now that we're here.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people here with burner accounts.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I get tweets from people and they're cursing me out, and it's followed by one person at the station. I'm like, that's interesting. So-so's cursing me. I think we have people who have burner accounts.
Interesting. Who do you think would be the most likely one to have it?
I'm not going to say.
Okay.
I'm not going to say.
I mean,
that could start a war here.
By the way, I brought this up last week, but I didn't know this, that Shasky has a troll account on YouTube, or at least someone who created it.
Shasky's troll.
I'm like, dude, you're big time if someone's created a fake account based off of you.
So, yeah, no, I'm not going to lie. Not to make it about me, but I'm going to do that.
Oh.
There's a Bonta Hill stand on Twitter.
Is there?
Yes. And he was tweeting at me. He's like, you're not even going to follow your own stand? I was like, I guess you got a point. It's Bonta Hill stand.
Really?
Going at people. I was like, Mama, I made it.
Oh, boy.
Shasky's troll, that's pretty good.
So what's the objective of this Twitter account? Is it to go out to any Giants fans who have any optimism at all for anything for the next 3 years?
It's a Warrior fan who just goes at everybody.
Oh, okay, it's a Warrior fan.
You say something bad about Steph, he's coming for you.
Okay, nice.
You say something bad about Draymond, he's coming for you.
Mm-hmm.
You say something nice about KD, he's coming for you.
Right.
That's where it is.
Nah, but this is a big offseason for Farhan, though.
Huge.
I think that's where we're getting at here. I don't think he needs to tear it down or whatever. I wonder if Gabe Kapler's still going to be a part of this team for the future. I don't know where Gabe Kapler's place is with the squad right now, because he doesn't seem to have these guys fired up at all. And
But you know what? Why should Gabe Kapler, why should it be his job to be fired up? These guys are getting paid millions of dollars to go out there and compete with that city on their chest, San Francisco. Okay? SF hats.
Well, then what's the point of having a coach?
You're in the big leagues.
What's the point of having a coach?
Well, the in-game adjustments, in-game managing, which doesn't look good because it's all about the data.
Yeah.
You got to get away from the data sometimes and just have a feel. Like Dominic Leone should not be in high leverage situations. All right, I'm sorry.
Well, where do you go,
Wade Jr. should not be batting second or third.
Where do you go? What do you do? It's the roster that he's been given.
It has, which is on Farhan. Can I get Tyrell Stroud in too?
The A's...
He's batting 256.
The A's just celebrated the 2002 team for, I don't know what reason, for what? Losing to the Twins in the division series? Great. You had a
20-game win streak.
I know that. I know it's a 20-game win streak. But
see David Justice, by the way? Looking good.
He did, didn't he?
He looking
He had
good.
the fedora on.
He had the fedora on.
I think it was a fedora. Is that the technical term for it?
Yeah.
But the whole point was Art Howe from that Moneyball time was given a roster where he didn't really think that it was going to thrive. Now, granted, Art Howe thinks that the way that he was portrayed was unfair in that movie, so I can understand that. Maybe he wasn't just totally down like he seemed the entire season, as if it was Moneyball, but he made something out of it. You know, so I think that's why I'm not saying none of it goes to Farhan. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm saying there's a little bit of both here, little bit of both.
The data
from the 415. It sounds like we hate each other, Bonta.
Nah, we love each other.
Bonta, we hate each other according to this conversation.
We hate each other.
Just after one 15, it's like preseason. After seeing one drive, it's like, all right, well, you know what? Niners are done. Not going to work. After listening to us for 20 minutes, apparently we hate each other.
Come on.
How about that? You were the first person to call me Langford. All my close friends called me Langford normally, and I never got called Langford when I was working here. First day you came through, you're like, what's up, Langford? I was like, Bonta, my guy.
My guy. I call you all kind of names. Nice guy, Steven, Langford. I go all kind of different directions. It's like 3 people I'm talking to.
Yeah.
Hey, nice guy. Hey, Langford. Hey, Steven. Obviously, look, nice guy, Langford, Steven, whatever you want to pick.
Right. I'm good with either of them.
Langford and Lutman. How about that? L&L, like Hawaiian barbecue.
They're the most... Little chicken katsu?
Yeah, oh man, that's my thing.
Yeah?
That's my thing. That little macaroni salad?
From the good. Oh, it's good. 650. Nice guy, Steven. Now stop acting like the Giants wouldn't have celebrated that 20-win streak the same way. Like, I don't believe they would have because they won 3 championships. They're in a totally different spot than they were right now. The A's need something to celebrate.
And that's the thing. They do need something to celebrate. They do. And I'm not mad at that. It was cool. We got some crowd out. It was cool to see some of those. Wasn't Miguel Tejada out there?
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. I'm not mad at that. But what I was getting at is you and Lutman are a lot more optimistic about the Giants than I am. A lot more optimistic. And I get why. You guys follow the minor leagues. I don't follow it that closely because I'm always like, look, they're a prospect until they're not.
Right.
For sure. A-Rod said it a few weeks ago when they were covering the Red Sox-Yankee game. He goes, we talked about the baby bombers for so long. Well, they became baby bust. These prospects, I've been hearing about prospects in the Giants system forever.
I can understand.
So I just... At this point, it's like, man, this style of baseball. I don't believe in the style of baseball that they play. I don't believe in the way they operate when it comes to their rotation and their bullpen. I don't believe in their lineups. Like, Yaz, we've seen Yaz all season long, and tough play for him the other day, trying to get a ball there in right field. You see that where it bounces and he hits the wall and a couple runs score. I just, like, why is he batting 5th? Can we just see something? Can we just see something new? You're 61 to 65. Let me see Joey Bart in September bat 2nd. Now, it's going to be tough because you're playing the Braves, the Dodgers, the Brewers, and the Dodgers. You're playing the Dodgers 6 times. Good luck against that. So now all of a sudden, you're going against Julio Urias, and you're going against Tyler Anderson and Gonsolin, and all of a sudden you're going against the Braves pitchers and Max Fried and Charlie Morton and Wright and Strider, who's striking out everybody.
Strider's a beast.
It's going to be unfair for Joey Bart. We're going to look at that like, damn, he's batting 158 over the last 15 games. We're going against the best pitchers in the league. I don't know, man. I just, it's after a series like that, and there's a play with Yaz there in the bottom of the 5th inning. Look at him. It's just, right now it feels hopeless. Now, one signing can take that away. But right now it just feels hopeless. You feel me?
I can understand that. I can understand it's not easy to watch Giants baseball and watch this team every single day like we do and think ultimately, at the end of this year, they're going to be set up pretty well next year. Like, oh, man, you signed these guys and this guy. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like you're a team that's, for example, in football, when you just say, oh, we're a quarterback away or we're something like that away. We're a quarterback and a run game away. Yep. You know what I mean? The Giants they're quite far away right now. But if they can make some sort of splashy move, sign some big-name free agent, get a more athletic outfield. I need something that's better defensively in the outfield. At the very least, I mean, Steven Duggar, I was big on Steven Duggar. I was like, okay, you know what? He has those tools that it can't be taught. Speed, what he did with the glove, the way that he could throw. Steven Duggar was very good on defense. The only problem was he didn't hit. He didn't hit with power. Like, he couldn't do he was a 3 out of 5 tool guy. And that's what a lot of these guys are on the team. But right now, it doesn't even look like those tools are showing. It looks like maybe they're two-tool players.
What Farhan said last week? We need about 4 or 5 everyday players. So Farhan's already come out and said we need 4 or 5 everyday players in the lineup alone. So when I say, hey, they need about 10 players, 10 to 15 players, Farhan just told the masses they need at least 5 everyday players in the lineup. 5. Not to mention a couple arms in the bullpen. Not to mention another starter or two, because who knows what's going to happen with Rodon. That's 10 players.
Right.
Farhan just basically told you we need 10 players and 5 everyday players in our lineup. We can't platoon left and right. And this is where I'm at, 650, and I feel you. Comcast Business Text Line. This is the first year in a while where I really don't watch the Giants. It's unwatchable. I used to enjoy it. At this point, I'd rather watch paint dry. It was painful to watch that series. I don't know why I did it. I was flipping back and forth from college football and had the screens going on. And I was like, damn, those Twins uniforms are pretty cool. They have underrated uniforms, but they just look lifeless, man.
Well, I will say it's going to make it a lot easier to focus just on football content through the rest of the season.
Oh, and basketball, too.
Yeah.
Basketball is coming.
Yeah.
And people are already talking nasty about Jonathan Kuminga.
They're
already talking nasty about Kuminga. I don't really want to get into it because I just think it's enough. It's reports about him not working hard or, Stephen A. Smith. Here's what Stephen A. Smith said. Here's what Stephen A. Smith said about Jonathan Kuminga. We'll get right back into the Giants.
I'm worried about Kuminga. I'm hearing too many things about him off the court in terms of his head, the level of discipline that he lacks. You understand? Some of the foolishness. I'm not getting in this personal business. I'm not saying nothing like that. I'm talking attitude. I'm not talking actions. I'm saying that attitude, the level of focus, commitment, determination, just putting your head down, doing the work. I'm hearing that he's shortchanging the Warriors in that regard, and he got to get his act together because I'm a Jonathan Kuminga fan.
Just saw him playing in the World Cup out there in Africa. Had a hell of a weekend. I don't get why the shade towards a 19-year-old. You think he's going to be as disciplined as Stephen Curry? Of course not. He's 19 years old. He's trying to figure it out. Can't even legally drink yet.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I'll share my thoughts on Kuminga in just a second, but did you see what else Stephen A. Smith said about the Warriors?
No.
Well, he said later on in First Take, and we don't have the sound here, so I'm just going to have to do it. The Golden State Warriors. They're going to win it again next year. Back to back. That's what he said. Back to back. So let's at least acknowledge that he has high hopes for the Warriors going into next season.
Right.
But I do think there's something there. Like Stephen A. has grown very close with the Warriors. Joe Lacob, everything going on there. So I actually do buy into what he says. Back to back. But the thing that I'm going to be focusing on, though, is during the regular season, what happens? Like, during the regular season, if Kuminga looks like he's dogging it, I don't know. Maybe looks like he's not conditioned the right way. If there's something going on with his game, I am going to go back into that time in August and then think, well, they did say he's not that hard of a worker or something like that. Then maybe we could use that to try and get some sort of explanation as to why he's maybe not playing as well as we want him to during the regular season. So I'm not going to put too much stock into it right now.
Yeah, I'm not putting no stock into it.
But maybe later.
I'm not putting any stock into it.
Back to back.
Had a great weekend in Africa. Not a three-point shot. I think he shot 28%. But he got to the free throw line, made 18 of his 26 free throw attempts. So he's getting better from a charity stripe. He's getting to the cup. He's giving you 17 a game. He was a leading scorer on the Cameroon national team. He's 19 years old playing against grown men.
Yeah.
This is why we didn't bring it up last week, Langford. Because we all thought on the morning roast that, you know what? All right, we'll wait till training camp to see it.
No,
these questions will be asked during training camp, and we'll see how hard he works. I'm not worried about Jonathan Kuminga. I'm still as excited about Jonathan Kuminga as I was when Shasky and I drove up to the California Classic last year.
If there is no way that he turns into a hard worker based on playing with the Warriors, I mean, you mentioned it already. What do you think is going to be Steph Curry? No one's going to have that.
19 years old.
It's really tough to have that work ethic.
Right.
But when you factor in Jordan Poole, like whenever Bob Myers joined this station weekly, when he was on the show weekly during the basketball season, hopefully this is going to happen again next year. When Bob was on here, just talking nonstop about how hard of a worker Jordan Poole is. Draymond Green did the same thing. So when you got those guys to live up to, Like, I think Kuminga is going to go into this season like, all right, we won a championship, but my role is going to increase.
Right. I think he's excited about that. Why would he want to work? That's a great point. Why would he want to work when he knows he's going to get extra playing time next season? And he's been around these champions, and he's learned by not playing in the playoffs. That makes a player hungrier. This guy left Africa, left his parents to come to America to try to make a living. That takes a lot of hard work. The sacrifice that takes. I'm going to leave mom and dad. I'm going to leave my country, and I'm going to go to New York City to make a name for myself. He's a top 10 pick. I think he's going to be hungry. And then in his first ever international competition, 17.5 points per game, 5 rebounds, couple assists, and a steal. Shot 66% from the floor, just 23% from three, 24% from three. He's got to work on that, no doubt about that.
Well, I like that 5 rebounds number, though.
Yeah.
I want to see him get better at rebound. I know Steiny talks about that all the time. Steiny talks about, and he's right. Kuminga does need to be a better rebounder, especially going into this season.
Right.
You know, luckily you had Kevon Looney rebounding like a madman throughout the playoffs. So I actually go back and watch that ending game against the Grizzlies. Anyway, but Kuminga does need to improve on that.
Yep.
And defensively, like, I remember seeing him in the playoffs in the limited time that we did see him. I saw it felt like it embodied who Jonathan Kuminga was. Right. It was a play on one side where Ja Morant, when it felt like nobody could stop Ja goes to his left, Kuminga with the footwork, stops him from even trying to attempt a shot. Ja just passes it away, right? I've seen that. But then on the other side, you see him get on the other side of the court, then he gets the ball in his hands, then sometimes there's a lot of,
indecision.
Where do I go?
Yeah, he's got to work
like Trey Sermon behind the line of scrimmage.
Right.
It's like, where do I go? A lot of indecisiveness.
No doubt.
You know?
No doubt. First playoff run. He's got to work on his ball handling as well. His handles are not as tight as it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
But come on. Kuminga, are we really crushing this kid? Who's crushing this kid? I didn't even know it was a story till yesterday. I'm following everything with the Warriors, obviously.
Even if Jonathan Kuminga isn't that hard of a worker,
now all of a sudden,
Warriors are winning the championship next year.
We're believing Screaming A. Smith.
Back to back.
Are we really putting stock in what Screaming A. Smith has to say because of the relationship with Joe Lacob? Come on, man. I want to get a couple calls here before the injury report. Real quick, Doug and Berkeley, then we'll get to Robin. By the way, Bonta Hillstand has tweeted out the Lil Baby documentary is so good, man. That's my stand right there.
What?
Lil Baby has a doc.
Lil Baby has a documentary already?
That's something we'll get to later in the week. Documentaries are jumping the shark. Everybody has a damn documentary now. Everybody. Come on, man. Doug and Berkeley, what's happening?
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning. Couple things. On Kuminga, a lot of players coming out of, college or at his age, are making it on ability. They're learning in the NBA that they got to really work hard. I wouldn't worry about Kuminga. At least I'd give him a chance. Don't start knocking him yet. So as the Giants go, I don't think we're missing 5 players. We're missing one key player who, because of his personality, his understated personality, maybe we didn't realize it. We're missing Buster Posey. Guiding the pitchers, managing the game, controlling the game, a solid bat in the middle of the lineup, just spreading, his presence just made everybody better. There's no Buster Posey coming down the road. I understand that. So we're going to probably need a couple guys. But it's not this panic thing. We need 5 guys. It was hard to appreciate because of his personality, how valuable he was, how valuable one guy can be to a team. I think that's what we're missing. Thanks for taking my call.
Anytime, Doug. That's a good point about Buster. Real quick, Robin in the city. Robin, we got to go real quick. We got about 50 seconds, Robin.
Oh, gosh, I can't say it in 50 seconds, but I do want to say that this conversation about Jonathan Kuminga was brushed up upon a while back. JD and I, or someone was discussing it, and I think I don't put too much stock into Stephen A. Smith, but I do think there's something there about Kuminga's attitude and his ability to think that he's got it, right? Because he didn't have to work hard. So comparing him to Jordan Poole, comparing him to Draymond Green, and to the like, or even Moses Moody, who have to work, it is a kind of an unfair comparison there, not really a good analogy. So I do think there is something there in terms of a wake-up call for him that his natural ability, athleticism comes natural, and that's all he needs. I do think there's some arrogance there, and there might be a little bit of truth into what Stephen A. Smith is saying.
All right, Robin, thank you for the call. We'll get to that in a little bit later. We got all week to get into Kuminga. I didn't know there was this smoke. Come on, he's 19. He's a Came back in a rookie. We're already taking this guy like he's been in the league for 5 years. What are we doing? How bored are we? All right, Craig, you know what time it is.
It's time for the injury report.
That really hurts.
Brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years.
We're to talk to Jerry Rice at 8:30. But Divo Samuel is not at practice yesterday, and the team has announced that he is dealing with a bruise behind his knee. Divo suffered the injury during Thursday night's preseason finale against the Houston Texans. While the injury is not expected to keep Divo out of the 49ers Week 1 contest against the Bears, he is expected to be held out of practice this week. I will hold my breath about Divo Samuel. No doubt about that. The 49ers need him. They want to make another run deep into the NFC playoffs. The injury report brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years. What's coming up on the game? Sponsored by Fremont Bank, full service banking. No compromises. The one and only Dave Flemming. The talk about those San Francisco Giants. That's coming up on the roast.
Are you ready for your palm reading, my dear?
Yeah, let's do this.
I sense that you crave something.
More reliable.
Right. You know you deserve better and want out of a relationship.
Yes, with my big name wireless carrier.
You're who now?
My big name wireless carrier. That's why I switched to Xfinity Mobile. Now I get unlimited with 5G for $30 per month on the most reliable 5G network.
Let's talk about your aura. It's so...
And get this. They can even save you hundreds a year on your wireless bill over T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon.
Wow, that's actually really impressive.
Yep, but you already knew that, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I definitely saw this coming.
Start seeing savings today. Switch to the fastest mobile service, Xfinity Mobile. Now with the best price on 2 lines of unlimited, just $30 a line per month. Switch today. Xfinity Internet required. Price comparison for 2 unlimited lines under available 5G pricing plans of top 3 carriers. Taxes and fees extra. Reduced speeds up to 20 gigabytes of usage per line. Most reliable based on root metrics. US report. Comcast analysis of mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data from Ookla Speed Test Intelligence Q2 2022.
Ever since I got the new Galaxy Z Flip 4, I've been learning all these new tricks with my dog Finn. Like how to take the best selfies at the park. I just set my phone down, put it in flex mode, and capture hands-free pics from multiple angles.
Aww.
Or how to capture our training sessions for his followers. I simply wave my hand to start recording video. Good boy! Plus, the Z Flip 4 is compact and fits perfectly in my pocket.
Oh, wow. Visit Samsung.com today to get the new Galaxy Z Flip 4.
Kirby is your driveway mechanic. They bring the shop to you with brake and tire replacements, oil changes, and much more. It's the ultimate convenience. Easy booking, transparent pricing, on-time arrivals, and service right in your driveway. No waiting rooms, and direct access to your mechanic with friendly and reliable service. No middleman or upsells. They're so sure you'll love the convenience. Take $50 off your first oil change with code OIL50 at Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com and use code OIL50. Kirby, your driveway mechanic.
Tee it up at the Golf Mart for the next generation of drivers, where titanium ends and the carbon age begins. Introducing the new Stealth Carbonwood driver from TaylorMade with 60 layers of carbon twist-based technology designed for better energy transfer and faster ball speeds. Come into the Golf Mart and get custom fit today. The Golf Mart is home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, or shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Okay, you know those amazing spots only the true San Francisco locals are in on? Like that place with the square pizzas? Or Mama the spot for sweet and sour chicken that's anything but so-so. Oh,
Order up!
You know, with the Granch dressing. And all the other spots the real SF locals know without us even saying them. Yeah, they're on DoorDash. San Francisco gets it. DoorDash has it.
T-Mobile believes customers deserve to get more without paying more. Everything from entertainment benefits like Netflix on Us, to travel benefits, to scam shield protection, all with taxes and fees included. So the price you see is the price you pay. When you're a T-Mobile customer, you get over $225 in value every month in benefits with our Max Family Plan.
That's like paying for nosebleed seats and getting to sit in the front row.
That's right. At T-Mobile, your family gets over $225 worth of value and benefits with our Max Plan each and every month. Plus, with our Price Lock Guarantee, we won't raise your rate plan price for talk, text, and data ever.
That's like paying for a cab and getting a stretch limo.
At T-Mobile, you get value beyond the expected.
Qualifying service required. Value based on included monthly benefits. Sales tax and regulatory fees included in Max's monthly price. Price lock guarantees rate price of talk, text, and data for new accounts with qualifying service. Exclusions apply. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Sides and totals are obviously awesome, but how can you not love betting on props?
Nick Costos, co-host of You Better You Bet, 3 to 7 p.m. Eastern on the BetQL network.
I love it because it's like playing fantasy sports, except you're betting on the game. Which player is going to have a lot of success in the game? I think prop bets are absolutely tremendous and a different way of thinking about handicapping and betting on a sporting event.
All the insight you need to bet smarter is at BetQL.com. And listen to You Better You Bet with Nick Costos and Ken Barkley, streaming weekdays from 3 to 7 p.m. Eastern on Odyssey.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Your business upgrade begins with up to 48% off top-rated laptops, like Vostro, taking performance to the next level with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growing business even further. What's next for you? Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMC FM at HD1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's time to wake up with a nice cup of morning roast.
Oh, yeah.
Featuring Bonta and Joe Shasky.
Hey, well, I'm about that action, boss.
Take it out! This is the morning roast on 95.7 The Game.
Oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby. Or is it a yes, sir? Good morning, family. So we got nice guy Stephen Langford in the building. Usually on a pregame show from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. to set the tone for the station. He's now in the big boy chair, baby. Got the call up as Shasky's out on vacation. It's not any other call up. He should be in the big leagues. Should be in the big leagues batting 6 on this lineup. How about that? Batting 6. Be pretty sweet. Some RBI opportunity.
I was going to be talking Von Brown all morning on this show from 5 to 6, the entire hour.
Yeah, let's.
Von Brown called up to Double-A.
You would have had me playing Beyonce a lot louder. Just wonder if you would have done that. Click.
I'm out here like Von Brown is about to be the second coming of Jesus, and then you're out here like, you won't break my soul.
You won't break my soul, or Energy, or Virgo's Groove. Beyonce got some hitters.
Yeah,
she's got some hitters.
Agreed.
Got some hitters. Good morning, everybody out there on YouTube, Twitch. Subscribe to us on YouTube and Twitch at 95.7 The Game. Like us, love us, hate us if you want to. We don't care. Just watch us. YouTube or Twitch. We appreciate your time here, your attention span, listening to us every single day at 95.7 The Game. Of course, Comcast Business Text Line. Comcast Business Text Line is always bringing the heat. They've got questions about Kuminga. A lot of people are optimistic about Kuminga, as am I. I'm optimistic about Kuminga. Come on, man. What's not to like about him? And what's not to like about Dave Flemming? How about Dave Flemming joining us? Dave Flemming, of course, the play-by-play broadcaster for the San Francisco Giants, also does some college football, some college basketball. Wonder what he has on his docket. College football starts this weekend, the real college football. Last week, Nebraska, Northwestern playing in Dublin. Dublin, Ireland. That was weird.
Wow.
That was strange. And Nebraska, of course, they're not Dr. Tom Osborne's Nebraska Cornhuskers. It's a different Nebraska team. They have fallen a long, long way. Tommy Frazier's not walking through that door, Langford.
You just gave a version of this isn't your grandfather's football team.
No. Grant Wistrom is not walking through that door. Schleschenberger's not walking through that door.
Oh,
all right?
man.
Gosh. By the way, Dave Flemming, presented by the County of Santa Clara, book a COVID-19 booster shot right now at sccfreevax.org or call 211-FLEM. Must have had a tough time getting back from Minnesota back to the Bay Area as the Giants host the Padres today for the first of 3 and the next 17 and 19 against the Padres, the Phillies, the Brewers, the Dodgers, and the Braves with a 3-game set or a 2-game set mixed in with the Cubs. Flem, good morning, man. That's I don't know where else we could go here as we enter September. Padres have been struggling. Brewers have been struggling. This was a golden opportunity for the Giants to get back into this race. And let's be honest, man, they just stunk over the weekend in Minnesota. I heard you on the broadcast. Lefty relievers just hasn't been a thing for the Giants recently, especially since the All-Star break. Starters not going deep into games. Lineup is struggling. Just a rough weekend in Minnesota as they got swept by the Twins.
I know it's not good right now, but I know it's also better to talk about than Nebraska football. There's one thing. I can guarantee you that.
Oh, no doubt. Dublin, Ireland. Real quick, Flem. A college football season starting in Dublin, Ireland, and the Nebraska Cornhuskers, who simply haven't been the same since they transitioned to the Big Ten. I don't know why they left the Big 12 out now. Obviously, we know why, because of the money. But, man, Nebraska's fallen on hard times. We grew up when they were running the wishbone and the triple option, and they were dominating everybody. Now they can't beat the Northwestern Wildcats.
Yeah, I don't think even the announcers were there in Dublin, but I would go to Dublin for a college football game, though.
Sounded like fun.
It's weird, but it's one of my favorite places in the world. So if anybody needs somebody to go over there next time, I'm raising my hand right now.
And also, I heard that the concession stands, all the power went out, so they started giving out free beer and free snacks and free food out there in Dublin.
Oh, I'm sure those fans really didn't accept. They probably didn't want any beer.
That's dangerous. That's dangerous. Free beer at a football game in Ireland? Yikes.
No kidding. That's how you win new fans. You want to grow the game? That's a pretty good idea as far as I'm concerned.
As far as the Giants, how do we not lose some of these fans right now? 4-game losing streak. They're 2-8 in their last 10. It just looked lifeless in Minnesota. Alex Wood with the rough third inning Friday night. We saw how Saturday night ended after that long delay. I felt bad for you and Sean and the rest of the crew there. And then yesterday, getaway day, just didn't have it. Didn't have it at all. So we can start with the bullpen. We can start with the starting rotation. What's your biggest issue right now with the way the Giants are playing?
Well, I don't think they did anything well over the weekend. Not one thing. So, that's exactly what you're talking about. Like, where do you hang your hat? They did not. They didn't look good in any aspect, and I don't blame Giants fans for being a little angry and discouraged and wondering what's going on, because everybody's wondering what's going on. How is it possible that a team that fancies itself as a contending playoff team has a stretch where they play like that? And, look, by yesterday, it's a beat-down group. They're hurt. They're tired. It's been a long road trip. Nothing's going well. I sort of understand yesterday, just hard to, even for guys getting paid a lot of money who take their jobs very seriously, even for those, it's hard sometimes to just muster the mental strength to say, all right, we're going to go get them today. And then things start to go wrong. And I understand there's a challenge there, but this team right now has to figure out, okay, what's the last month of the year going to be about for us? Are we going to evaluate some of our younger players? Unfortunately, the Giants don't have a lot of younger players who are close to Major League ready, who they can just, because I think there is going to be a time soon here where they're going to have to pivot away from, oh my gosh, we're doing everything we can to win every game, and pivot to, we got to evaluate some stuff for next year. That time is getting closer here, but they don't have enough of those players. That's another thing that's going wrong this year. Is some of those upper level prospects like Sean Jelly and Elliot Ramos and some players like that. You still may decide, let's give them a shot. Let's take a look at them and see what we got going into next year. Because right now, the other stuff is not working.
Yeah, Dave, there's been a trend that's been going on, and our producer, Sam Lubman, has been keeping tabs on this ever since the All-Star break has been over. But in the first half of the season, they were batting .338 with the bases loaded, and since the All-Star break, In their 39 plate appearances, they've only had 5 hits. Like, what do you attribute to them not being able to hit with the bases loaded? Have you noticed this trend?
Yeah, we threw up a graphic yesterday when they had the bases loaded a couple times. No team in baseball's had more bases loaded at bats than the Giants over the course of the year. Nobody. Not the Dodgers, not the Yankees. And I do think, and they haven't scored as many runs as those other teams, and the stretch that Sam is keeping in his little notepad by his TV at home is sort of highlights that. The Giants right now, the process, I don't believe, is flawed. I mean, I think you can still watch a Giants game and see, okay, Giants hitters mostly have a good plan. They mostly get into good hitters' counts. They mostly work an at bat. They make a starting pitcher work. They got the Twins starter yesterday out of the game before he could finish 4 innings. The process is there. Like, the underlying stuff is there. What isn't there is the ability to take advantage of that. The Giants just, for whatever reason, the Giants hitters are not equipped right now to do damage. The hard hit rate has gone way down. The exit velocity average has gone way down. So, I mean, look, without being too harsh, I think that tells you what's going on. Like, the game plan is there, and even the execution of the game plan is there. But the bottom line results are definitely not there.
So does that mean, Dave, that they need to make some sort of addition this offseason, and maybe, they are not as far away as some people think? Because, we're having conversations on here throughout the show about where the Giants are at, and, some don't think, well, they're just a couple of players away and they'll be fine next year. What do you think?
Well, I think you can feel very confident that on the run prevention side, which to me, that's not just pitching. And the reason I don't just say pitching is the Giants are going to put a lot of effort into improving the defense and trying to configure the roster so they have better defensive options. This roster has been so limiting for Gabe Kapler recently that, I just don't think he's got anywhere to turn with the way this roster is configured to try to get better defense out there. Defense has improved in the second half. It's sort of been masked by the cratering of the offense, but the defense has improved, but it's got to get way better. They have to get more athletic. And I think, even if Carlos Rodon doesn't come back, and there's obviously a good chance that he does come back, but even if he doesn't, I still believe that the Giants are going to have a good starting pitching staff. I think they'll reconfigure the bullpen. That's not where Giants fans should be worried. Giants fans need to be concerned about, does this team have any building blocks on offense?
Yeah.
It's been a real struggle for Mike Yastrzemski. Lamont Wade has not looked, other than 1 week basically, has had an entirely lost season. Luis Gonzalez has tailed off, a young guy that had us all excited. I think it's really important for the Giants to take a longer look at him in the last month of the year. Can he clean up some of the other mistakes and be a more well-rounded player? That's where the Giants are going to have to put a lot of effort. How do you boost and bolster the position player side?
I'm with you there. We're talking to Dave Flemming, of course, play-by-play for the San Francisco Giants, also ESPN College Football. I got to ask you before we go out what your assignment is this weekend coming up. It's a big-time slate of college football, but the Giants right now struggling 2-8 in their last 10 games. They're falling out of this wild card race. They're 61-65 now, and that's where we want to pick up this conversation again with the everyday lineup. Farhan said last week on the Tim Kawakami podcast on The Athletic, hey, we may need 4 or 5 everyday players. And we all agree, because late night Lamont looks like he needs some sleep, Dave. He's not getting it done, whether he's batting second or third. Brandon Belt, have we seen the last of him in this lineup? Because that's going to be another position open at first base.
I hope not, but it's possible. I mean, Brandon's just totally compromised right now. He's not, obviously he's on the injured list at the moment, but he's not himself. He's not close to himself. He's looking like a player who's reaching the end. Now, you don't have to look back that far to see a guy who was really good last year. He was one of the best hitters in the league. So I don't think it's a certainty, but I don't think Belt wants to come back and drag his leg around and look like a shell of himself next year. So it's possible that first base is going to be a position. Now, first base is one spot where, you can use that sort of platoon idea of, I'm not saying that it's not important to have a good defensive first baseman, but I think, Wilmer, Flores, J.D. Davis, Tommy LaStella, Lamont Wade, could you piece it together with those players if they're all back next year? You probably could. You might not get the total production you wanted, but, we'll see if Belt, it'd be interesting to see if Brandon can come back in the middle of September or whatever and look like himself and at least give the Giants an option of bringing him back.
Going back to Saturday night, Dave, obviously the Giants lose in extras. They lose in the bottom of the 10th, 3-2, but they had a 2-0 lead going into the 9th inning. And when Camilo Doval comes in for a 4-out save, doesn't get it done, and says afterwards that he doesn't really have the confidence to be that 4-out save type of guy. He's not there yet. Should that be concerning for Giants fans, or are these just growing pains that we need to go through?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's mostly growing pains, and I think you need to keep running him out there so that he does grow because he's got special ability. Is it a 4-out thing? Maybe, but I think it's also a situation where he's just not a refined pitcher yet. So you're going to have nights where the command is just not there. With his stuff, he has to have the ability, where you've got a 2-run cushion and the 8th place hitter up or whatever the situation is, you got to be able to throw a strike. Just say, okay, if you hit it 500 feet, so what? We still have the lead. You can't do what he did on Saturday night, and he knows that, and the Giants preach that, but he needs some more experience to get to that point. The guy's made an unbelievable adjustment mid-season to throw this sinker, which has become a fantastic weapon, and I think is going to be his number one weapon going forward. But there are some nights where he's not throwing it for strikes or even close to it, and that's just, hey, it's a new pitch for him. So don't be frustrated with Camilo. You can be frustrated, but don't give up on Camilo. Yeah. He's a big part of this team's future, and the last 6 weeks of the year are a chance for him to keep working on that stuff.
No, you're absolutely right about Doval, Dave. I mean, he's been lights out, I think, for the most part of the season. And the 4-out save, yeah, that's tough for a young man. But you guys threw up some numbers on your telecast the other night where his ERA was under 2 over the last 15 games. So he's been fine. I think he's a building block for this team and his bullpen here moving forward. Now you get the Padres in town, and the Padres haven't been lightening up. I don't know if you saw the numbers on Josh Hader, but, boy, he's been rough in San Diego. So now you have 2 limping teams here, and this feels like this week with the Padres and the Phillies coming to town. Look, a lot of people may think the Giants are dead. I think they're on life support right now, but if there's any way to get back into the race, this is the week to do it at home against the Padres and the Phillies. And the Padres are limping in here.
Yeah, I mean, you never say until it's officially over. You never want to say over, but they probably need to sweep them. They probably do. 2 out of 3 at this point probably isn't good enough just because of how poorly they've played. So let's see if they can. And look, you can give yourself the old Tito Francona pep talk when you're down 3-0 to the Yankees in a best of 7. Like you don't have to win 4 games in one night. Just win 1 game and see what happens. Like win the first one. And then, can you look around the room and say, okay, we have a lot of good players in here. Can we win 1 baseball game? Can we win a game? And the answer is obviously yes. So do it tonight and then see if, because you're right, the Padres stink right now. The Padres deadline, which was supposed to kind of turn to a night team. So, you win a game against them, and maybe they start to implode a little bit. So you start with 1, but realistically, if it's just us talking, we're not the ones going out there and playing. They probably have to win them all.
Yeah, Dave, I just got one more question for you, and this just actually has to do with broadcasting. But over the weekend, we had a couple of videos that went viral, so to speak, but it was Trey Turner, he was mic'd up, and you also had Adam Wainwright, he was mic'd up. The fans love it. And I'm just asking, from your perspective as a play-by-play guy, is that the type of thing that you'd like to do, which is getting guys mic'd up during the game? Or for you, is that a little awkward as they're trying to do their job and you're interviewing them at the same time?
No, I'm fine with it. If the player is really, truly willing and has the right attitude about it, and I'd be willing, if we did it in any of our games, I'd be willing to sort of back off and not, I I wouldn't need to interview a player. I'd be willing to just sort of listen in and see what the chatter sounds like, see what the game sounds like. Now, are most players going to be willing to do that regularly? Maybe we could get them to a point where they would. I think you can do it in a way that's unobtrusive. We did it in the playoffs a few years ago now. It was in the middle of COVID, and I was sitting in a studio in Charlotte, North Carolina, and the analyst was in her shed in Bend, Oregon, and the game was in Oakland, and so the tech wasn't as good as it needed to be. Doesn't that sound fun?
We remember.
But we did it with Mark Canha, and then we did it the next day with Ramon Laureano, and that's a playoff game, and those guys agreed to wear the microphone and talk to us during a playoff game, and they were willing to do it. And you know what? Like, the Ramon Laureano thing sort of backfired because he started dropping F-bombs like every other word. And the ball, they had an inning where they gave up a bunch of runs, and the ball's whizzing over his head, and he's shouting into the microphone all these expletives.
He was a fast runner, Dave.
He was a fast runner. But Canha, I thought Mark Canha did a great job with it, and I thought it was interesting. People lost their minds, like, how could you intrude on a playoff game? And, I kept my mouth shut, but I did want to say to everybody, like, we asked. We didn't force him to do it. We asked, and Canha was like, sure, I'm happy to do it. So, anyway, am I willing to do that? Yeah, I'm willing to do that, and I hope with the Giants, with our local telecast, I hope we figure out a way to try. I think it'd be fun.
All right, before we get you out of here, Flem, I got to ask you about this weekend. Big-time college football games. Ohio State, Notre Dame at the Horseshoe. You have Florida State, LSU. You have Georgia, Oregon. You got some big-time matchups here. Where will you be? Because I know college football is on the docket, man. Are you starting this weekend at ESPN, your college football slate?
I am. I'm starting this weekend. They consulted with me. It's baseball season. Let's make it as easy as possible. Let's send you to the closest possible place. So I'm going to Fayetteville, Arkansas.
But that's a good game, though. Cincinnati, Arkansas.
Really good game.
Yeah.
Really, two good teams. Kind of a funny matchup, weird matchup, but two really good teams. And I'm excited to see them. I had Arkansas. I had Cincinnati last year once during their special year, and I had Arkansas a couple times, including their bowl win, which was their first New Year's bowl win in 22 years or something. So I think Arkansas's got a chance to have a really great year, really good team. They've got one of the best quarterbacks in the country. It's 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific in the middle of the afternoon on the first full Saturday of college football season. I'm pumped.
Fayetteville, Arkansas. That's funny. No San Jose State games, no San Diego State games. Let's send them to the SEC country, the Fayetteville, Arkansas. Hey, Sam Pittman, good head coach out there in Arkansas. That'd be a fun game. We were talking about this morning.
Yeah, I never complain about going to the SEC. I think it's just fun to be there. It'll be an incredible atmosphere. Those people are so pumped for their season to start. But yeah, it's kind of hard to get there when you're trying to work baseball games and mix and match. Fayetteville's not. And then week 2, they made it a lot easier on me. I'm going to Stillwater, Oklahoma, so it's a much easier trip.
Oklahoma State. Who they got next week?
They have Arizona State.
Ooh.
Pac-12, Big 12 matchup.
Forks up. Dave Flemming. Of course, he does everything. Golf, college football, college basketball, and baseball. And with the way the Giants have been playing, nice guy, maybe Flem needs a break from some baseball. Get him out to a football game, man. Give him a little mental break from the Giants with the way they've been playing. Flem, you're the best, man. We'll talk to you next week.
Maybe the Razorbacks can get a hit with runner in scoring.
Jefferson can do it. He's a cleanup hitter, Flem. He's a good cleanup hitter.
Hey, we can still enjoy the last 6 weeks of the. You can always enjoy parts of a baseball season. Watch Joey Bart, watch Camilo Doval, Logan Webb, Carlos Rodon. Every game can be its own thing. We'll see if the Giants can play a little better tonight.
No doubt about that. We'll be watching Padres Giants on deck tonight at Oracle Park. Flem, we'll talk to you next week.
Okay, great.
Thanks,
Flem,
Dave.
He's always good with his time here. Dave Flemming, of course, presented by the County of Santa Clara. Book a COVID-19 booster shot now at scfreevax.org or call 211. We're talking about Arkansas and Cincinnati. Before the break, we started talking college football because we didn't really, the Giants. Look, man, this is their time. Their time is running out. All right? It's quite simple. Niners are kicking off September 11th. Next week, we're going to ramp up for Niners and Bears. And we'll slow play it this week a little bit. We'll talk some Kuminga. We'll talk Niners. We'll talk some Giants. This is basically their last week of relevance. on the morning roast.
I mean,
that's it.
Look, Bonta, look, man, the elephant in the room is if Jimmy Garoppolo is still on this team after tomorrow, after the 1 p.m. deadline.
Oh, my gosh.
You can throw any other talk other than Jimmy Garoppolo out the window.
I'm going
to force it. I'm going to force it. You are going to set up the topic. You are going to be a professional radio host. You're going to drive the show, and I'm going to force Jimmy G into the conversation.
Well, Jerry Rice is going to join us in 5 minutes. I'm going to ask Jerry straight up, should Jimmy Garoppolo be a backup on his team?
Yeah.
What a segue. Yeah, you like that? Jerry Rice coming up on the morning roast. Nice guy, Stephen Langford. Bonta Hill, that's coming up, sponsored by Fremont Bank, full service banking, no compromises.
Now with Xfinity, you'll get unlimited internet with gig speed and supersonic Wi-Fi. With a 2-year internet rate guarantee, no annual contract required, and no equipment fees. Talk about knock your socks off. Ooh, plus a free Flex 4K streaming box. It's like hitting the streaming jackpot. It's all just $50 a month when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data. $50 a month. A price that's truly jaw-dropping.
Oh, literally.
The speed you need at a price you want. Value that's simply bananas. That's the new Xfinity Supersonic Bundle. It's kind of a big deal. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store to learn more.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New gigabit internet customers only. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity Internet. After 24 months, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
Breathe new life into life at home with Ikea Festival. 10 topics, one purpose. To get more out of the homes we love. What are you passionate about? Art, dance, music, food, fur babies. Get inspired, create, and share with us. With celebrations, giveaways, IKEA family offers, and live streams with expert advice. It's all happening at IKEA Festival. Join us from August 26th through September 10th online or at your local IKEA store. Learn more at IKEA-USA.com.
Everything, our farm, our stand, our pop-up shop, it really all started when we discovered the benefits of local, raw honey for our family.
And then we decided to turn it into a business.
We were looking for something to help us get up and running.
So we got the Chase Business Complete Banking Account.
It's more than a bank account. It comes with Quick Accept, which lets us take card payments anytime, anywhere in the U.S. using the Chase mobile app. Plus, we get same-day deposits at no extra cost. For us, it's more than honey. It's about sharing a little sweetness with the world.
Get the Chase Business Complete Banking Account with the essentials you need to help get your business going. Learn more at chase.com/business-complete-banking. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Quick Accept is not available in U.S. territories. Enrollment required. Usage subject to approval. Same-day deposits available for payments before 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday to Friday. Fees and rates apply for checking and processing. Limitations and restrictions apply. Participants compensated. Merchant services provided by Payment Tech LLC and WePay Inc. Subsidiaries of J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
T-Mobile believes customers deserve to get more without paying more. Everything from entertainment benefits like Netflix on Us, to travel benefits, to scam shield protection, all with taxes and fees included. So the price you see is the price you pay. When you're a T-Mobile customer, you get over $225 in value every month in benefits with our Max Family Plan.
That's like paying for nosebleed seats and getting to sit in the front row.
That's right. At T-Mobile, your family gets over $225 worth of value and benefits with our Max Plan each and every month. Plus, with our Price Lock Guarantee, we won't raise your rate plan price for talk, text, and data ever.
That's like paying for a cab and getting a stretch limo.
At T-Mobile, you get value beyond the expected.
Qualifying service required. Value based on included monthly benefits. Sales tax and regulatory fees included in Max's monthly price. Price Lock guarantees rate price of talk, text, and data for new accounts with qualifying service. Exclusions apply. See details at T-Mobile.com.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Your business upgrade begins with up to 48% off top-rated laptops, like Vostro, taking performance to the next level with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growing business even further. What's next for you? Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
A hot shower should be hot. A Navien tankless water heater makes sure your hot shower is hot or warm or mostly hot, but not quite hot, but warmer than warm. Whether you take it in the morning, after work, doesn't matter. Do you want a quick rinse or a full-on luxurious, I think I'm in heaven spa-length investment of time? Your choice whenever you want it. A Navien tankless water heater keeps your hot water hot. Backed up by Navien's powerful warranty. Get the hot water you need whenever you need it, period. At tanklessmadesimple.com.
Long weekends are all about getting a little you time. And at the Home Depot, you time means you building, you drilling, you doing, you recharging, you saving, and you going back for more. Do Labor Day your way and get a free 18-volt battery with select Milwaukee Power Toolkit purchases at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
In Hayward, mild 76 degrees today and partly cloudy.
Weather brought to you by the Odyssey app.
Did you know you can get your local news, traffic, and weather for free on the Odyssey app? Download the Odyssey app so you're always a tap away from the news you need to keep you moving throughout your day.
Now batting, Xfinity Internet. It's made to do anything, so you can do anything. Supercharge your home with incredibly fast and powerful supersonic Wi-Fi. With 3 times more bandwidth, it covers all the bases, and then some. And strike out billions of threats with advanced security that helps keep you safe at home and on the go. If you're keeping score, that's internet that does it all. That's unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas.
I love Law & Order because it's the same episode every single time.
John Mulaney is bringing The Lost back to the Bay Area, September 17th at the Concord Pavilion. For your shot at tickets, listen to Willard and Dibbs every morning this week at 10:30.
Now, back to the morning roast with Bonta and Shasky.
All right, let's get this out the way. Garlic Fries and Baseball Guys, newest podcast with the Giants. Shasky and Willard, of course, talking about the Giants and what else. What is there to talk about when it comes to the Giants? Go to the Odyssey app and download that bad boy and listen to the Garlic Fries and Baseball Guys podcast. Mark Willard and Joe Shasky, the Butcher. And look, man, we got a special guest. We have a special guest on the Morning Roast. We love him. He's the best football player in NFL history. He's the best wide receiver in NFL history. All right? He's possibly the greatest 49er in history. And I just wonder what my man has done this offseason. Now, he's got the goat fuel out right now. I haven't sipped the goat fuel yet. I wonder why I haven't had any. I need some goat fuel. I want to feel like the GOAT. I want to feel like the greatest of all time, Langford. We got Jerry Rice on the horn, live via Zoom. He's rocking a new beard, too. Look at the beard, man.
Wow.
Look at the clean beard, Jerry. What's good?
You know what? You know, they say I look like a goat now. Beard.
Tell us about Goat Fuel, man. Well, how's your all-season been? Did you load up on Goat Fuel? Tell us about Goat Fuel.
Well, Goat Fuel is doing really well. We are scaling like crazy, and, you know, from Lucky to Safeway to Target to all the major chains, and, you know, we're building, and it's a healthier energy drink, and I think, you know, with people coming out of this pandemic, you know, they're going to watch what they put into their bodies. And I had to have something that had my core values.
Yes.
It was important to me because everybody know about me. They know about me from my work ethic. And so I went back to some old ties, and we were able to come up with the perfect energy drink. And I think people really liking it. We have 8 drinks. Eventually, we're going to have a season 3, and, you know, like I said, I'm excited about the opportunity.
Wow. So the core values in Goat Fuel. Explain the core values here, Jerry, because we know about your workouts on the mountain, and I wonder in the offseason, do you still run that mountain? Because I saw T.O. running 40-yard dashes, and I'm sure Jerry Rice is somewhere sitting like, boy, T.O. can't touch me at 40. Like, what is the core values in the Goat Fuel, Jerry?
I think just healthier ingredients, and, you know, it's has the type of ingredients where you're not going to crash, you're not going to get a jitters or anything like that. So it's just going to fuel you for what you have to do, you know, for the rest of the day. And you don't have to drink 2 or 3. And, you know, people, they know, you know, it was all about productivity when I played the game, what I put in my body, the way I ate, the way I was able to, you know, fuel my engine to go out there and be exceptional out there on the football field. And I think we have put that in liquid with Goat Fuel.
Yeah, you got 4 different flavors in each pack, Jerry. So which is your go-to? Which is the go-to goat fuel flavor for you?
Come on, man. Come on. I like them all. Variety. I like the variety of all of them. But, I think season 2 is really just going crazy right now, with the watermelon fruit punch. And, you can, say you're in Las Vegas and you're hanging out, by the pool or something like that. And, if you want to add a little Tito's to that, you can do that. It's okay because you're in Las Vegas.
Jerry, I'm not cool enough to be in Vegas poolside like you, man. So I need energy just to get through the morning. So Goat Fuel's going to be my go-to. We got to check that out. Go to Goat Fuel and check that out. You can find it online, as Jerry said, Safeway. Target, that's a big time brand. Target, I go there with my daughter. That's like a field trip for us. So I'll make sure to pick up some Goat Fuel next time. Jerry Rice, so how was the offseason? Did you monitor the 49ers situation with Jimmy Garoppolo, Divo Samuel? How'd you spend your time off this summer?
Yeah, of course, man. I'm always a Niner and just watching everything, during preseason. And I guess I'm just like everyone else. I was hoping to see a little bit more. But, I guess it's just like what George Kittle said, it's the preseason. But, back in the day, Bill Walsh, he expected you to really show something during the preseason, to have a feel for what you, have a feel for what what's about to happen, the regular season. But I think it's a new generation of guys now, and they don't push that hard during preseason.
Yeah, that's the norm in the NFL right now. By the way, Carlos and Conquer saying he's on that Go Fuel right now. Shout out to Jerry Rice. The blueberry lemonade right now is popping off for him, Carlos and Conquered. So we have Jerry Rice live on Twitch, live on YouTube, via Zoom. Of course, the GOAT, the greatest wide receiver of all time, the greatest football player in my lifetime. Of course, Jerry Rice on the horn on the morning roast. So let's start with the quarterback position. Should the 49ers have brought back Jimmy Garoppolo to maybe compete with Trey Lance for that starting job? What are your thoughts on the handling of the quarterback spot with Jimmy Garoppolo?
Well, they invested a lot into Trey Lance, so it's time for this rookie. Well, this for like his second year now. So I'm not going to say he's a rookie, but to put it on the field. And I think that's basically it. I think with Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, they felt like it was time to just give him complete control. Now it's up to Trey Lance to go out there and prove to everybody that, hey, look, I really deserve this starting job, and I'm gonna lead my team.
So, Jerry, Trey Lance and Brandon Ayuk were able to work a lot through this offseason. They worked out down together in San Diego, and that connection is already there, even watching practices and watching them in preseason, feeling really good about Lance and Ayuk. But I don't think he's gotten as much work with Divo Samuel as maybe the fans would have liked. So is that something that they can adjust to through the regular season, or is the lack of offseason work maybe going to hamper them through the regular season?
I think you talk about then about Brandon Ayuk and, what he's doing during training camp and all of that. And I think it showed because the guy, like you said, they had the opportunity where they could throw together. They could get the chemistry. The body language and all of that. That's very important. And, I think that's why, with Brandon Ayuk and also, that they're so much further ahead. Divo Samuel, it's going to take a little bit more time, but I think if they take extra time doing practice, before practice and after practice, they can get on the same page. And with Trey Lance, man, I had the opportunity because I was doing a commercial with him, and it didn't take me long to gel with him because I was running route for this guy at the age of I'm not going to say my name.
Jerry, you look 30, man. You look like you're still in your prime, Jerry.
Yeah, at the age of 59, I was running routes, and it took us long to develop chemistry.
Damn, I'm getting old. Like for Jerry's 59, man. Where's my life gone, man?
Is there a player comp that you possibly had for Trey Lance when you worked with him and caught a few passes? Maybe when you worked with him a little bit, you said, you know what, this reminds me of player X.
I think it was just that. I mean, body language. Say, similar to, and I know people are going to go crazy if I say this. it didn't take me long to adjust to Joe Montana.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you're running the route. You know exactly how many steps you're going to take. You know the ball is going to be in the air, the precision, everything, the velocity, all of that. And I felt the same way with Trey Lance. And I think with Trey Lance, too, he got that rocket arm, but he also got that mobility where he can get out of the pocket, extend plays, and use his legs. So, defensive coordinators, they're going to have to plan for that.
Yeah.
So that brings a whole different scenario to the San Francisco 49ers.
Jerry Rice on the Morning Roast with nice guy Stephen Langford in for Joe Shasky, the Butcher, and Bonta Hill live via Zoom on YouTube and Twitch. You can check him out. He's got the Go Fuel hat. We got to get one of those hats, Jerry. He's got the banner right there. Go Fuel. Check that out. It's at Target, Safeway, and many other shopping malls. Go Fuel, the best energy drink out there on the market, of course. Jerry, let's go back to Deebo Samuel for a second. He got the big contract, 3 years, $71 million. He got paid after a monster season in 2021. And he led the Niners to the NFC Championship. There's no doubt about that. But so many injuries that are coming up. He's missed a lot of time in training camp. Now he has a knee bruise on the back of the knee. He's not going to practice this week. We all know you love to practice. You love to get those reps and build that rapport with the quarterback. Should there be a little concern about Deebo Samuel that he's not practicing this week, a couple weeks ahead of the Chicago game?
I think it's thankful that they have an extra week, to prepare. But Deebo is going to have to be durable all season long because, defensive coordinators, they know what he's about now. So they're going to try to make things a little bit more difficult for him. I think the guy that's really, really going to have a breakout year is Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Because, with all that single coverage and all of that and all that attention going on George Kittle too, this guy, he got to blossom this year. And if he does that, it's going to take some of the pressure off Deebo Samuel and also George Kittle. But also Danny Gray. I think Danny Gray, I think they call him the Gray Ghost or something like that. He's making plays. And I had a chance to, at the 49er Foundation, to stand up next to this guy. And he was looking down at me. So I was like, my God. But, the guy can run, and he's not afraid to go across the middle. So, we have the weapons on offense.
Mm-hmm.
The question mark is the offensive line and also the running backs. So, if all of those components come together, it's going to be an exciting season.
Yeah, sticking with the wide receiver core, Jerry, they're going to be, seeing a new quarterback in Trey Lance who has the ability to extend plays, kind of unlike Jimmy Garoppolo. It was a lot of system. It was a lot of two-step drops. All right, throw right to wherever the route is going to end up. But these guys are going to have a chance to play a little bit of backyard football, so to speak. So is that something that wide receivers just relish, or is there going to have to be some sort of adjustment that's made with a new quarterback?
Well, there's going to be adjustments, but, I think it's going to take a lot of pressure off Trey Lance, because he knows that he can get the ball in the hands of his playmakers, and he doesn't have to force it or anything like that. And when you got so many weapons, who are you going to take away? And whoever you take away, the next guy up got to hurt you 100%.
Yep.
He got to make plays.
Yep.
So it's fun to see all of this happening. I'm interested to see how Kyle Shanahan is going to put this together for Trey Lance.
Yeah,
where, this guy can, where he doesn't feel the pressure, where he can just go out and play football, where we can have him healthy the entire season. And if all of that should happen, I think we're going to have a fantastic season. It's going to be exciting to see this young kid just, become a superstar.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Trey Lance. Jerry Rice, you heard that right there. Trey Lance could become a potential superstar here. He called passes from him doing a commercial. Jerry Rice live on YouTube and Twitch via Zoom on the Morning Roast. Look, you talked about the offensive line, if they can hold up. They have possibly 4 new starters on the offensive line because we don't know about the health of Mike McGlinchey. We know Trent Williams is at left tackle. Do you believe that the preseason has any effect on the regular season? And by me saying that is, can the offensive line improve? Is that just a small sample size of what they can do in the preseason? Because it wasn't pretty, Jerry.
Yeah, I think the new generation of football, I think these players can not show as much during the preseason. But in the old days, we had to show, what we had. And we wanted to go into that first game knowing what we had. So, I'm old school, and I preferred it that way, but the new generation is totally different. But that offensive line, they got to come together to protect, Trey Lance. And then you have the running back, situation.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to unfold, but, there's still some things that really have to come into play. And if it does, I think the Niners got a chance to have a very productive season.
No doubt about that. Elijah Mitchell back at practice yesterday. Jerry, you still have Jeff Wilson Jr. We'll see about Trey Sermon. His cut-down day is tomorrow at 1 p.m. West Coast time. We'll see what the final 53-man roster looks like for the 49ers. Defensively, everybody's talking about him. The Jimmy Ward injury concerns me. He's going to miss the first 4 games with the hamstring injury. But this defensive line, Jerry, is deep. Nick Bosa, you play with some great defensive ends. Charles Haley, you play with Ricky Jackson. Nick Bosa, where does he stack up amongst the best of them, man? Because he looks like he's on track for the Hall of Fame.
Well, I think Nick is going to be Nick. And, he's a force on that football field. But the key to this defense is going to be Javon Kinlaw. And if Kinlaw, man, this guy, I had a chance to stand up next to this guy at training camp. And he's an animal, man. He's an animal. The size of him and stuff like that. If he really develops and be a factor, I think it's going to open the door, for Nick Bosa and all of those guys.
Yeah, keeping with the defensive line, what about Eric Armstead? We were having a conversation last week about which players going into this season. You have zero doubt that they're going to ball out this year. And Eric Armstead was a name that came up. What do you think of him, Jerry?
I really like him on that defensive line. So, we got the weapons. We got the players in the secondary. I'm excited to see this defense come together because if they come together, you win championships with defense. That's always been the case here with San Francisco 49ers. And we got a lot of weapons. We got, guys that's going to make plays in that secondary, that's going to make interceptions, that's going to have turnovers and all of that. But it starts with that, that front line, putting pressure on the quarterback.
Jerry, what's going on with the dog there, man? The dog, he wants in on the interview?
My dogs are going back and forth. They just, I don't know. I thought I took some of that energy away from them this morning.
It sounds like they're ready to go for a walk, Jerry.
Hey, guys, out. No, please, out. Out.
I got one last one before we let you go, Jerry. Going back to the wide receivers. How much, because everybody knows if you grew up in San Francisco, it starts with you at the wide receiver position. There's John Taylor, there's T.O., there's Crabtree, there's Bolden. How much do these young receivers reach out to you to get information, to get intel about being a wide receiver for the 49ers? Because it's different than being a wide receiver than, say, the Seattle Seahawks. You're a receiver for the 49ers, and the standard that you set for over the course of your career. Does Divo and Brandon Ayuk reach out to you for information, for intel, to break down film?
Guys, I think it's a whole different game now. You look at football, the run-pass option, it's a totally different game now. When I played back in the day, you had to be able to run routes. You had to be able to get separation, where the quarterback could throw the ball. And also you had to be a blocking receiver also. So, you look at more now, bubble screens. They're not throwing the ball downfield as much. So they don't have that route tree, because that was something that I always practiced back in the day, from all my routes. The timing of it, the West Coast offense and stuff like that. And now you look at, the run-pass option, they're not even under center anymore. So, those slant routes, those quick outs, those hook routes and all that, I think those days are gone.
Jerry, one more for you. So tomorrow is the deadline to cut down the roster from 80 to 53. Do you feel like after 1 p.m. tomorrow that Jimmy Garoppolo will still be on the roster?
I don't think there's any big suitors right now coming after Jimmy G. And you would think that with what he has done, that you would have teams coming after him. So I'm thinking that the Niners made the right decision. It's time to move on. I think there's a good chance that he's probably still going to be on the roster unless something happens between Cleveland or Seattle. And I think they already made the call in Seattle that Geno is going to be the starting quarterback there.
Would you be open to having Jimmy as a backup on this team? Now, obviously, the price tag, you'd have to slash it in half, possibly.
It's just that price tag.
Yeah. I mean, like if something happened to Trey, it's not the worst thing in the world to have Jimmy. Now, how do you think that would fly in the locker room? You was around Joe Montana and Steve Young. You know about quarterback controversies. You know about that dynamic. Would it be a bad thing for Jimmy to actually be a backup on this team?
No, it wouldn't be a bad thing, but I think, with Trey is his time. He doesn't want to be looking over his shoulder.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because this guy, he's going to have some adversity.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be some ups and downs. And, if you got a quarterback on as a backup like Jimmy G, maybe, he feels like, well, that's really pressured. There's pressure there because, Kyle Shanahan might decide to go back with Jimmy G.
Well said, Jerry. Let the people know again where they can find Go Fuel as well as online. I know GoFuel.com. You can find out all the flavors you can find out about all the flavors on GoFuel.com. But what stores can they go to? Where can they drive to go get some Go Fuel?
It's all over the Bay, man. Just, go on GoFuel.com, click onto it. We from, like I said, Target, Safeway, Lucky's, all the major chains. I'm excited about this opportunity, and I got my GOAT family out there. I'm very appreciative of that, and I want to say to all of you guys are all GOATs. You guys are the greatest of all time.
We love it, Jerry. We can't wait for football season. Go Fuel. Inject it all into my veins, Jerry. We'll do it again soon, man. Thanks so much for spending some time with us this morning. We love your insight.
All right, let's go, guys.
Thanks so much, Jerry.
The GOAT. Greatest of all time, Jerry Rice.
As soon as the show's over, I am screen recording that. I am like, what?
Jerry's got the beard looking
man,
too.
he's looking good.
He's looking good. He's looking fit. You got T.O. running 4.38 40s. You got Jerry Rice probably running mountains. How's that? Get the GOAT. Hey, Shasky, where you at? Way to take the day off, buddy.
I know, right? Interesting time to take the day off, huh?
Hey, you came up on that.
I know, huh?
That's good.
Yeah.
Rice said a lot there.
He did.
He said a lot there. I don't know how much time we're going to have to react to it. What's the number one takeaway from Jerry Rice?
Well, the number one thing is I don't think it's going to be too much of an adjustment for Divo and Trey to make a connection. That's number one. And just how easy it was for them. I think they'll get to it during the season, and maybe we are overreacting too much. But the other thing was, just random, but you asked about the preseason games. He said he's kind of old school. He liked the preseason showed something a little bit. I don't know. Maybe he didn't. I don't think they had joint practices back when he was playing. Yeah. So maybe those being on the rise has changed some opinions of people. But maybe preseason we don't want to overreact to it, but it is a time for players to show out to their coaches.
Yeah, he talked about Divo, and him not practicing. Talked about Ayuk, who he thinks is going to explode. I mean. We've been on Ayuk. We've talked about Brandon Ayuk for a long time on this show.
Yeah.
And I believe he's going to have that Jordan Poole-like ascension in this offense. He's going to ascend like Jordan Poole, where Jordan Poole went from second-year player averaging 14 points per game from the All-Star break on to becoming a borderline All-Star last season and an NBA champion. I think Brandon Ayuk is going to – because what Jerry said, too. Yeah. Part of it is there's going to be so much attention on Divo, so much attention on George Kittle, that Brandon Ayuk in his one-on-ones, he had Trayvon Diggs of the Dallas Cowboys running in circles in a wild card game. Jimmy just couldn't hit him on a couple passes.
I've been hearing a lot with the Ayuk and the Jordan Poole comp, and I totally get that because of where they're at in their careers. Both of them very young and everything like that.
That's kind of why I made it.
But I was also thinking about something with the Warriors though, because Jordan Poole was kind of up and down through the season. Still had some convincing to do in terms of the fan base and him being like the real sixth man. Like we saw it through the season, Bonta. Yeah. Some people just couldn't get behind Jordan Poole. Oh, he doesn't pass to his teammates. Not a good team player. I see Brandon Ayuk and what he can do this season.
Yep.
I know they're not in the same part of their career, so don't get at me for this. But the way that Andrew Wiggins had ascended to being a possible all-star starter. Now, granted, that had to do with that had to do with the K-pop star Bam Bam. He helped a little bit because of the fan vote.
Got to beat Bam Bam.
But Andrew Wiggins was still great, right?
He was great.
Even through the postseason.
Probably the most.
Consistently great.
Outside of Steph Curry, Kevon Looney, Andrew Wiggins were probably the most consistent Warriors during the playoff run.
So I just think that if they do, through the season, I think Ayuk is going to be consistently good.
I like that.
And I personally think Andrew Wiggins is more the appropriate comp, but I get the Jordan Poole thing because, there's give and take there.
Look at you one-upping me there. I kind of like that, though.
Back to back.
Damn.
Excuse me.
It's kind of dunked on me right
Glad
there.
we got our
man.
own mic covers here.
But I do like the Wiggins. And if he turns out to be Wiggins or Poole, it's not a bad thing.
Right.
It's not a bad thing at all, but I like that as well.
And you are going to want, more from Ayuk in terms of numbers and productivity because sometimes Andrew Wiggins would have a tendency to, flow along a little bit. But other than that, I personally think Andrew Wiggins is an appropriate comp. But Brandon Ayuk, point being, we're expecting him to have a big year.
No doubt. No doubt about that. By the way, Comcast Business text line coming at me.
Why?
Well, 669 Go Fuel at 7-Eleven. I'm not sure. Check your 7-Eleven. I'm definitely going to check it. 415 Bonta, stick to Rockstar energy drink. You ain't built for the Go Fuel yet. I don't drink Rockstars.
I thought you drank Goat Fuel this morning coming in here. It
was running hot.
5:45 in the morning. Langford, put a smile on your face, baby. I'm like,
it's fired up, man. That Beyonce and the DJ Khaled album. Lotto got a track on there. They used remember the Mr. Cheek song? Lights, camera, action. He used that beat with Lotto and City Girls. And I was like, damn, this is hot. Had me feeling good on a Monday morning. I didn't know Craig Mack was going to be in the building, too. Then he's running hot. He's running material. Thought I was doing a show with him.
He's bringing some new flavor in our ear. He's kicking new flavor
That's
in
good
your
stuff
ear.
right there. That's well played. That's well played.
DJ Khaled is kind of cringe. I agree.
Yeah,
DJ Khaled's a weird one.
City Girls! Another one!
He still does that?
I wonder how much he actually makes on that album, considering all the features he has.
Yeah. It used to be in 2008. We the best!
Gosh.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Can't really say that. It's not factual.
Go Fuel is for real OGs, not soft millennial radio hosts. Man, we're soft. Man, must be. Who's this coming down our road in the 415? I'm from the 415. How you gonna call me soft?
I didn't know Jimmy was gonna, or excuse me, Jimmy. I didn't know Jerry was gonna be on the Zoom. If you didn't catch us, you're gonna catch us live on YouTube. We're gonna post that interview later on. I mean, Jerry was right there, man. I didn't know that. I would have, maybe not come in here looking like I normally do on a Monday morning.
He dropped the superstar word when it came to Trey Lance.
Yeah,
he dropped the superstar word. That has me excited.
Well, that's the hope, right?
That is the hope.